Spice.
It's one of my favorite flavors.
Sounds nice.
I've hit the start button as well, so I've gone live.
All right, let me get my Twitter ready.
Ooh, bye.
There we go. Twitch. I'll promote the Twitch.
I'm trying to work out how Twitch works. This is fine.
There we go. Hashtag stream, hashtag animation, hashtag art. There we go. Woo! Hello. Look at all these people.
Hey there.
I'll get there eventually. When I can work out how Twitch works.
You hopping over to Twitch?
I just have like 3 streams that go on all at once now. So I love Restream. Thank you for showing it to me.
No worries. I had to convince India to use it. She was like, YouTube, I want to stay on YouTube. And I was like, you can stay on YouTube. But you can go elsewhere at the same time. This is the future now.
I like what I like, Michael. I'm too stuck in my ways.
Yeah, I think like once I go beyond the Scribble Pass, I might like export a bunch of stills of the individual frames and see what you guys think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
Yep.
I'd love to see the Scribble Pass on it though.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm working on right now. The Scribble Pass is exactly that. It's basically, I forgot how I described it. I think it's kind of like sticky notes for your mind.
Yeah.
It's not really designed for anyone else but yourself. It's kind of like a reminder of, hey, there's going to be a more readable image here later.
Yeah. There's always so much life in those parts though. Like, I love the Scribble Passes just for the pure energy that you get at them, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to keep that.
Something I was realizing the other day, also, hello Insanimate, welcome back.
Oh, hey.
One thing that I was thinking about the other day was that it would be really useful if Flash or Toon Boom or some of these programs could have a separate window that kind of just showed what's on your screen, but smaller. Because a lot of times when I pull away from something and I make it smaller, it lets me kind of take in the composition a little bit clearer.
Yeah, like standing back from the canvas, like you could do traditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's certain times where I like you can do that in Photoshop, where you can have 2 windows of the same document, and I often have a smaller one down in the corner for that thing. So you would imagine that an animation program should have the same capability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense, because also just the motion looks really different from afar than it does close up. So you can be zoomed in and working on something, and then you'll zoom out and the motion will suddenly not read the way you intended it to, or it'll go too far or not far enough.
Yeah. Turn you guys up a little bit. There we go.
Oh yeah, let me know. I've got the audio for Patrick. There's the voice in your ears. It was quiet last time, and I've moved it up. But let me know if it's still too quiet, and I will adjust accordingly.
Ooh.
The voice in all of our heads.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up your.
Oh no. Does this mean the stream's gonna see my horrible notes that I give you?
Well,
That's
don't
awesome.
have to, but I'm gonna pull up the next page anyway for myself.
I give Mike just pages of his page, but me drawing over it in red marker essentially via Photoshop, and it's just the most nitpicky little bits of feedback ever.
That's the best.
It's awful to look at. I think he's gonna murder me sometime soon.
You're very obsessed about teeth color.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they too yellow or something?
Sometimes, yeah.
That's not too yellow.
It's It is compared to her eyes, because you've given her eyes a blue tint, which means that the yellow stands out more.
Well, okay. I'll make them the same colour as the eyes.
I'm one of those old-fashioned people that likes the eye and the teeth colour to be the same.
Oh, okay.
But you realise the teeth should be more shadowed than the eyes because they're inside the mouth, right? Right?
I don't know. I like to make my teeth stand out a little bit like the eyes, just for readability of expression. So shadowed is okay, but if it's too dark, then, you know, if the values aren't reading against the skin tone, it's a little bit harder to get the expression. I'm all about readability, and Mike's all about making it look really beautiful, and sometimes the two clash.
I can see that.
Oh, hey. I just noticed I got a Jeff Stokely joining. Hey, Jeff. How's it going?
Jeff who now?
Oh, Jeff Stokely.
He's a comic artist.
Oh, nice.
Really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, how's it going, man?
I was wondering, Patrick, how do you go about colouring your animations? Because your colour sense seems super good.
My color sense?
Yeah. In all the animations I've seen that you've done for the Game Grumps, particularly, the colours have always been super nice.
My secret is I find a cartoon that I think has nice colors and I eyedrop it.
Oh, nice! That's awesome.
So the Akira ones are all from an Akira scene that I just eyedropped.
You know, that makes so much sense though. Like, you want it to look like Akira. What do you do?
Yeah, it's because I don't actually know that much about color theory, so I rely on other artists.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair, because you learn from doing that too. You know, like I do that sometimes. I'll find a cool scene and I'll colour drop sort of more realistic colours from that into my cartoon drawings, and it always just makes the colours that bit more convincing than if I'd just been like, it's a tree, it has to be green, the sky has to be blue.
I'm going to say a general hey to everyone joining. I would say hello more, but I don't want to break conversation flow too much. So just know in my head, I'm going hello to every one of you.
Sorry. You can just tell me to shut up as well, that's fine.
But yeah, I want to get better at color. I'm alright with lighting. I do okay with lighting, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, because you've animated a lot of special effects, especially recently. And they rely a lot on lighting, right?
Yeah, well, I do some digital painting here and there as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful too. Your digital painting makes me cry with happiness. It's so good.
Oh, the skeleton one?
Yes.
I'm turning that into a dice poker board.
Whoa, that's so cool.
Do you know what dice poker is?
No, I've never played it. I've played poker, but...
Are you familiar with the Witcher series?
Oh, no, but you were telling us about it last time and it sounds incredible, so...
They have a game in there called Gwent, but before Gwent was the game Dice Poker.
Okay.
And it's just competitive Yahtzee.
Okay.
You know, you're just trying to get straights and flushes, and you each get, like, I think 2 dice rolls. Keeping certain dice and that kind of stuff. But anyways, that's kind of why it has, like, a gambling theme to it.
That's awesome.
And all that.
Is that going to be available? Or are you just making it you?
I was thinking about maybe extending the print and just having one that people could print themselves.
That'd be really cool.
Because the one I'm doing is going to be it's going to be like an actual like wooden board and all that. But yeah, I might do like a print or something, or I don't know. I'm not very good at selling prints. I don't know how to do that yet.
No, us either. We have to do it in like 2 weeks, and we have no clue what the hell we're doing.
Oh, this is the exciting point then, because you know this is the building of the experience, so that next time you do it.
That blind panic mode engage.
Yeah.
No, if it was a print, I'd totally love to get one of those.
Yeah, maybe I'll. Well, once I get the flipping colors down. So here's shows my inexperience with printing and color and all that kind of stuff. I did it all in RGB, and now I'm trying to print in CMYK, and it's not working out so great.
Yeah, at times it's often best to flatten your image, as like scary as that is, because when you make the conversion over, certain like layer effects can get
It's amazing.
muddled.
Yeah, what it'll do to like shadows and stuff.
Yeah, it'll garble a lot of things. I think just because the maths or something is different in each mode, that they don't like each other. They don't correspond well.
Yeah, but we'll figure it out. I'm printing it on canvas, so there's a even more levels of difficulty involved.
Because does that mean that there's not a like the white of the paper is slightly different, and you need to account for that, or?
Well, things just end up being much darker on canvas for some reason. So
Okay.
I'm having to adjust the key very specifically, and it's kind of difficult because if I use lighten, then the color comes off and it gets more desaturated. If I do brightness, then it becomes too saturated. So now I'm like messing with levels, lighten and brighten, and just trying to get something that will look all right when it's finally printed.
Okay. There's something that that Al told me about for trying to change the levels. I'm trying to remember what that was. Come on, brain.
Is she around? Because we could just hold it for her. Don't think she is.
All right, I'm gonna do a render here of the animatics so far.
Yes.
I think it might have been channel mixer.
It's very loud, so I might not be able to hear you for like a couple seconds here.
No worries.
Yeah, have you ever like played around with the channel mixer adjustment layer before?
It's less. Oh, I might do that. Yeah.
Because you can like set it to black and then really see how much black is being used overall. What happened there?
You sound very knowledgeable. Like...
Yeah, I'm super. I know what I'm doing here.
Well, you do more than I do, so.
Oh, okay, Jeff. Take care. Thanks for dropping by then.
Let me get up restream so I can also see the chat.
I like that everybody else shares the pain of working digitally and then just like trying to put stuff on paper, and it's like no. I guess that's one of the benefits, aside from screen calibration, when you're working on an animation for screen media, then you're just like, yeah, it's all light, it's all RGB, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to try to print it. It's just not the same.
It's just one more layer of difficulty to add on to actually making it good in the first place.
Hey, Mark.
Oop. Mark's here. Hello, Mark.
Mr. Kilkelly.
Hello.
And
Mark used to work with me in Boulder.
yeah.
He's the lead on Danger Mouse.
I think
Ooh.
Patrick, I think on Saturday, Mark was around, so there was introductions and stuff done then. But India was...
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I have like the memory span of a goldfish.
No worries. I'm more explaining that for India's benefit. Like she was relaxing.
Relaxing. I was writing 100 emails.
Oh, okay.
To 100 people.
Fair enough. Okay, let's go grab this. Maybe we should shrink down Midge's head in this panel. It keeps bothering me.
These notes were not for anyone else's eyes but yours.
That's not a colorist note.
No.
Dear.
No. But I figured since it's the most finished on your side, maybe when you finish the colours we could just lasso that and just give it a bit of a transform.
You're kidding, right?
No.
I just spent 6 weeks making sure this is all properly done, and you want me to copy merge a character and scale her down?
Just a little.
No, I'm just kidding. K.
No K.
Okay.
Doing
right.
shots. What's that?
I was just sorry. Someone just mentioned that they have two monitors which show colors slightly differently between them.
I have the same thing.
Yeah, me too.
I have a Cintiq and then the monitor, and they're wildly different between these two. But my Cintiq is calibrated because it's my work Cintiq, so I know which one to go for at least.
Yeah, at least you have one that's sort of like
Yeah.
safe, designated safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like Oni NG. He's funny.
Me too. I wish I could do the voices, but my voice doesn't do that. But people who can.
What's wrong, Zach?
Oh, Renee, yeah, I was going to do speech bubbles. You can see some of them here behind India's red-lined teacher scroll.
Oh yeah.
Are any of you guys Lord of the Rings fans?
I like Lord of the Rings
It can
a lot.
be.
Yeah.
I have another game board I'm putting together. I'll pop it in the Discord for you.
Oh yeah, awesome.
It's the game of but it's based off of Numenor.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's got like the white tree and all the different family sigils as the flower squares.
Oh my goodness. That sounds. Is that really intricate?
Yeah. So there's the board right there in the Discord, and that's what's gonna end up being printed out.
Woo.
I just noticed your little face.
That's so nice.
What's
oh
that?
Oh my god, it is really intricate.
India's drawn a little face where it's like,
He's drawing a little face.
I'll let you off on the next on this one with a little.
Oh, that's great. I can see it now.
You're welcome, man. It kind of works.
You guys should have seen some of the little notes and things people were doing during Castlevania.
Oh,
We have a
lovely.
whiteboard in some of our rooms, and it's like there was some amazing doodles. My favorite one, I think, was of Alucard, and he was facing away from. He was facing away, and he was naked, and he was holding his sword by clenching his butt cheeks together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We had one in Boulder, but it was one of those whiteboards where you first get it and everyone kind of draws something, and then it's just like those drawings are just left there forever. Nothing ever changes. That sounds awesome. I meant to ask you actually about Castlevania. Do you guys work on paper?
So we didn't at Powerhouse. One of the outsourcing studios did, though. So we would animate something or key it out or whatever, and then you'd have to do an X sheet, and then you'd basically give them an image sequence that they would print off with all the numbers on the pages and stuff, and then they would take it the rest of the way and send it back to us.
Yeah, wow.
Not the most efficient way to do things, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing though. I'm really itching to get back to some paper and pen.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You like traditional media?
Yeah, I really do. It's like, it's a thing I learned on, and there's just nothing like flipping paper physically.
I was gonna say, so did you learn animation on paper?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I don't know if there's not a lot of places that teach it on paper still, is there?
I'm not sure actually, because I don't think my university was particularly good, but everything they were teaching is they got from the Richard Williams books, so I think they just went old school with it, which I really appreciated.
What was it gonna say? Did you know if Cartoon Saloon still does things on paper? I know Secret of the Kells was.
I'm not sure actually. You know, I think they might work digitally now. I think. Yeah, I think some of the C was done digitally, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Maybe they scan it in an ink or something on the.
Renee says her school did traditional. I think she lives in Ottawa, so it's over there.
Also, like Canada's really good for animation, so that's cool.
I like Canada, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they've got a really good, like, the National Film Board of Canada is amazing. There's not a lot of places in Canada I'd like to work for simply because of the work that they do isn't really up my alley, which is more kind of, basic television stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of a greedy animator. I like to get really difficult, like crazy scenes and try my hand at them.
Well, that's how you get better, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's different types of animation to get good at, and I have a particular style of animation I enjoy. I don't see it a lot of places.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that I left Boulder is I really missed being able to draw the frames because they work with 2D puppets there instead to make things faster.
Lanny Bird says they still teach hand-drawn at Sheridan.
Oh, Sheridan's really famous for animation, isn't it? That particular college or university. I think that's where oh, what's her name? The lady who taught Aline and I did her 3-day masterclass. Samantha Youssef. Yeah, Samantha Youssef went there. She's one of my drawing heroes. She's very good. I know what you mean though about the different types of animation. Like there are kind of different disciplines.
Let's see here. Yep. God, it's hard for me to make a coherent thought right now. I've got like a million things going through my head.
Oh, no worries. Don't worry about it. Cool, we'll drop between concentrated silence and just inane chatter.
Michael, I was going to ask you, I can't remember the name of this artist, but he's a Scottish animator and he does these like pigeons.
Scottish pigeons.
Yeah, hold on, I can find it. I think he's got one that's called Scroogan on a Greg.
Okay.
It's a smoking pigeon.
Oh, awesome. I don't think I've seen these.
Here, I'll put it in Discord for you guys.
Yeah.
Will Anderson.
No, very much have not seen them.
Oh god, his stuff's so funny.
Scroogan on a Greg.
Even just the pigeon's face is making me laugh.
It's cool. My life used to be shit. Belly, I did nothing with my time. I was like that. Oh, where am I going? What am I doing? Now, my life is rich and true and good and strong.
So yeah, I don't sound anything like that.
Well, that's like they have like really heavy accents. Or one of them does.
Yeah, I would say that's kind of mild. Not mild, but like that's midway strong Scottish accent.
Yeah, I mean you can still make the words out.
Yeah.
Who thinks of that? Smoking pigeons. Perfect.
Well, have you ever like watched pigeons for any extended time? They eat whatever they can, so if you watch long enough, they'll probably eat a butt or attempt to.
Eat a butt.
A cigarette butt, no, not a butt. Okay.
Never turn your back on a pigeon.
Face and neck same color.
Yeah.
You realize though it's warm shadows, so the face is whatever.
Yeah, I realise it's just like
that
his
looks
face.
Weird to me.
Well,
so I'm not going to do it the same color. I'm going to do it slightly warmer, but not as warm as it is.
Gurmal Plummer is a Canadian animator.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Yeah, good old Canada. I'm like half Canadian at this point. I mean, I was a Michigander and I just spent half my life in Canada before I moved down to Texas.
Man, I would love to live in Canada. We only visited once, but it was so nice, and they have the best pancakes.
Yeah, they were
Flapjacks.
So good. Blueberry
And
pancake.
some flapjacks. Yeah. It's a very Canadian breakfast. Get some flapjacks, maybe get some poutine for lunch.
Oh yeah, poutine.
Drink it with some Molson's from the beer store.
And beaver tails.
Beaver tails. I love beaver tails.
So good.
Oh my god. I mean, they're basically just like, it's like elephant ears or like a lot of other things, but...
Yeah, just get some cinnamon and sugar on that.
There's a festival in Ottawa, the Ottawa International Animation Festival, and there's a little shop there that sells beaver tails.
That's where we went. We went for the animation festival, so that's probably where we got them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're awesome.
Have you ever went up to that? And if so, which year did you go?
I went a lot when I was younger, so probably from the years like 2005 to about 2010. I was going pretty regularly. One year I took my girlfriend up there, and I saved up all year, and I stayed at that giant castle hotel.
Whoa.
Cool. Oh yeah, I know the one.
Yeah, so we could actually see that beaver tail shop from our room.
Yeah.
That sounds really tempting all the time.
Oh yeah, and I had no inhibitions at that point. It's like, yep, I'm getting that every day.
It's just staring at me as soon as I wake up.
Yeah. When I was younger, my metabolism was better.
We ended up staying in the Novotel, which I think is like just a couple of streets over. But we ended up like, I think there was supposed to be a party or something going on, but we were completely just like goosed. We were like, do you want to do anything? Nah.
I've never heard anyone use the term goosed before.
Me either.
I might have just made it up. I don't know. Anyway.
That sounds like a Canadian term, though.
India was still working on her...
I'm totally goosed. How about you?
I'm going to start using it.
You're welcome.
I probably won't be there this year, though, in answer to Gurmel.
I think it's happening
Gemmel.
Next month. This month, maybe even. But India was still working on parts of her showreel at the time, so she was just sitting and animating on her, yeah, trying to finish off shots. And the fire alarm goes. So it's like, okay, and then like a voice over thing in the room is just like, stay in your rooms, sort of thing. So we're just like, should we stay? And it got to the point where we're just like, what if the fire is like beneath us or whatever? Like,
shit.
So we ended up just like, oh, there's a fire escape, and there was these two Japanese businessmen in the hall, just kind of looking confused and not really sure what to do. So India's just like, well, I'm not burning to death, and sort of like marched off toward the fire exit, and these two Japanese businessmen just followed us as if we knew what we were doing. So we were like, okay. So we descended down the fire exit stairs and then out to the front of the building. To which we saw there was like a crowd of people and stuff waiting. I don't know. I don't think they would find out.
No one stayed in their rooms.
Yeah, no one stayed.
Well, that's because like when you're a kid, you're taught that like fire spreads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a fire in the building, probably leave the building. Is a good shout.
So we're standing outside, and then we realized like one of the guests from the animation festival that we had like tried to talk to and who had been completely swamped and surrounded by like the whole event, because we had went to like a picnic one of the days. I don't know.
I forgot about their picnics. Yeah.
Yeah, and we saw them, and they were like completely surrounded the whole time. We're like, we're never gonna get to talk to them. And they were standing outside, cold, shivering, because it wasn't super cold, but it was like cooler, and they didn't look prepared for it. And we were just like, oh, we could totally go over and keep them company. To which we did. So like, fire escape turned opportunity just to chat with someone. They were like, oh, your talk was really cool.
It was worth
awesome.
That fire.
we tweeted them later going, we're so glad we set that fire alarm. Oh man. So yeah, Ottawa was one of the first animation festivals we went to. I think that was more than just others one being held in our local city.
Yeah.
I don't know. How did you even find out that was happening?
I think I was just looking for animation festivals. you know, because I just really wanted to go to one, and I hadn't been to one in like a year and a half or 2 years or something. So I was looking for big ones and ones which were held in places we might want to go to, and everyone was saying that one was really, really good.
Yeah, it is. It's a great one.
Yeah.
I find that like the Ottawa one is like better for film and like independent shorts and stuff like that, whereas things like CTN are more industry oriented.
Yeah, we noticed that there was a massive like group of people who were all extremely into indie short films. And there was a whole section of the festival dedicated to just that, and awards dedicated to just that, which was really cool to see.
Also, hello, Khaleesi.
Khaleesi?
Oh, Khaleesi!
It's not spelled Khaleesi, but it's spelled Kalisy. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Periscope and to the color stream. We hope you enjoy your stay. This and that. Maybe we should shrink. No, I've done that. Mud. Okay, fix the tangent. Cool.
Yeah, doing independent films is like a really good way to get to animation festivals though, because we were talking to some of the independent animators there, and they were saying that they had their travel and accommodation paid for because they got their films into the festival.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Well, Ottawa's one of the ones I'm going to be submitting to when My Dad the Giant's done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's so cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it at the festival and seeing everyone's reactions to it.
Me too. Oh, well, not the reaction part.
You will run away.
Even if it's good, like when you put this much work into something, and I've done this like a few times before, but when you have like a little film and you see it go up on screen and there's like, you know, even if it's a small theater full of people looking at it, there's this horrible anxiety that just washes over you. Like I get so tight.
Yeah.
Like everything just bunches up.
No, I get that.
Will they laugh at the joke? Will they, you know, cry at the part I want them to cry at? Like.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's the worst feeling.
I've had that only once, and it was very small. It was just like a small festival near where I was, and my student film got put in. But yeah, I was definitely like sat there just feeling this hot boiling in my stomach, and even when people laughed, like I was just like, oh, they're laughing, oh.
Have you ever been to like an award ceremony or something and been nominated?
Yeah, that was the same place though.
It's such a horrible feeling that like, and I never like won any nominations either. But like it's just that sitting there, and you're like, it doesn't matter. Like you just keep telling yourself.
Yeah, yeah, that happened with me, and it was awful because I was up against a friend from university, so I was like, I want them to win.
Yeah.
How awkward it's gonna be, no matter who gets it, it's gonna be awkward. Yeah, horrible. Never submit your films to anything. It's awful.
I mean, we still do it, right?
What kind of advice is that for independent animators? Just don't submit. It's not worth the emotional anxiety or turmoil.
Well, submit. Definitely do it. It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a horrible feeling, but like you should do it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say it's definitely worth it to see.
Because it's one of those horrible feelings that you need to feel at some point in your life, because it means that you're putting yourself out there, that you're making yourself vulnerable, and that's good. You know, like you need to do that. It helps you grow as a human being.
Yeah, and the reason that you are so pent up is because you care so much about it. So
yeah.
It's not bad to care about something that much, and if you do care about something that much, you should definitely put it in for film festivals.
Yeah.
Let people see it.
And I think it was my teacher, his name's Gary Schwartz, and he's a crazy man. But when I was originally starting to, he knows a lot about storytelling, and and he can make anything interesting and anything a story. Wow. But he was when I was first getting into doing stories and stuff, he was talking to me about that, and I was trying to find what story to tell, and I was trying to make it personal and that kind of stuff, and I wasn't quite sure how to go about it, and he basically said like no one wants to hear a story that you want to tell. No one wants to hear the story where you're okay telling it. People want to know the story where you don't come out looking good, or it's super revealing, or it's a deep dark secret that you don't want anyone to know about. That's the story that people want to hear.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's inspiring and terrifying.
Isn't it?
Yeah, like if you're scared to tell it, it's probably worth telling.
Jeez. Yeah, that is it's true, but it's scary because it means it's really real to you, and it's going to connect probably with other people.
Yeah. On
a really deep level, but it's really scary to do that and then put yourself out there.
It is super scary. But you gotta do it.
Yeah. It's the same thing with promoting your work, right? It's always scary to put something up and then stand behind it and say, hey, come and look at this thing I made, rather than just post it then run away.
It's also a good rule of thumb when making interesting characters. One of the things that I do when I'm making up a character, someone who needs like to have motivation and that kind of stuff, is you ask a bunch of questions, but like more so than what's their favorite food or color, but like, does your character have something that they haven't told anybody, and why? Why hasn't they told anyone about this thing? You know, what was it because they let someone down? Are they worried about what someone might think of them? Did they breach someone's trust at some point? Did they have a failure that they were never able to get over? Like that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And those will tell you so much about the person you're creating.
Yeah. Also, I love just playing with characters interacting with other characters. Like the way that a character will take on different personas depending on who they're speaking to.
Take on different surnames?
Personas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they'll show different sides depending on what kind of person they're interacting with, because there might be a certain type of people who just rubs them up the wrong way, and other people who they get on with surprisingly, even though you might think they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Matthew, with your blue juice.
What?
What flavour is blue?
No one knows. It's just blue.
And also, thank you, Clara. Clara says, so cute style, which I think goes more for you, India.
Don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You drew it.
It is definitely I love your style, India.
Oh man,
the drawings are so good.
Oh yeah,
they have so much emotion.
After,
me and Michael were raving about it earlier.
Yeah, so on that stream, India, after I went to bed, she was like, "So, tell me all about the stream." I'm just like, you can watch it if you want." I'm terrible for trying to remember the intricacies of a conversation. I bullet point it in my head and then I relay those. Just like, yeah, but what else? And I'm like,
It's only because you managed to sum up 3 hours in 2 sentences. And I'm like,
I'm efficient.
You are.
Oh, the rest of it was just I was geeking out about stuff. I super praised that new panel for page 4 with the hands reaching.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's,
see? Yeah.
Thanks. I mean, I still don't feel like that's really finished, but I might just have to leave it for time. But that was so much you and Reika telling me your feedback, because it was much worse before. It was this kind of teenage angst ridden thing, because I'm not used to drawing kind of more realistic grisly things, so my art style hasn't really developed in that direction. So when I'm trying to draw it, it comes out in this really kind of cringy way, and it wasn't saying what I wanted it to say, and I knew it wasn't working, but it took sort of showing it to Reika and Mike and spitballing a few ideas back and forth before I hit on something. And I wouldn't have done that alone.
Yeah, I think it came down to you were trying to draw things that people were afraid of, rather than drawing how fear makes us feel. So, like, rather than, oh, it's a scary, dark thing, or like a spider, like, what does the feeling of seeing a spider feel like? How do you tense up? How do you react? What trying to communicate that is a bit more difficult. I think you nailed it though.
I think it's definitely better. It's something I'm more comfortable drawing for sure.
Very good.
But thanks, like both you and Patrick are such massive inspirations to me anyway, and so many people are. I'm so glad that I'm not making art in a vacuum, because like 90% of my ideas come from other people.
Yeah, I think I spent yesterday looking at an animator who was doing stuff that was like way beyond my comprehension, and he's like 20 years old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which is, I don't know if I want to call it humbling. That's a weird way to call it. But it's definitely an interesting experience to go through that, to like find someone who's just figured it out at such a young age.
Yeah.
But the thought process is never, that son of a bitch, you know. It's always like, what did they figure out? What did they figured something out? There's a key in there somewhere.
I think that's the important thing, is like, it's not so much, oh, this person, how can they have got this good? It's terrible, I feel awful, what's the point? It's more just, what can I learn from this? Like, whenever I find someone who's very, very good, I feel just like this kind of excitement of, thank God they're here, because now I can study their work and try and work out what it is they've done and use that to make mine work better. The great thing too is you can get in touch with people now on social media super easily, so if you see someone's work you like, you can like just talk to that person and be like, oh my god, this was really cool, can I ask you about it?
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the greatness of the internet. You know, we can all talk to each other now.
Also, literally talk rather than like letter correspondence. Oh, I hope my mentor.
We're talking right now.
Yeah. Oh my god, what is this?
We're doing it.
Future.
But like you know, it's the internet's such a crazy thing, because we can communicate instantaneously, continuously. Yeah. With everyone and anyone.
Yeah.
It's weird to think about, because we all just kind of like slid into it, you know, from our adolescence to our adulthood. We didn't, you know, it wasn't like, it was more like, oh, look at this cool new thing. It wasn't like, what does this mean for humanity?
Yeah, it's true. It's become such a part of everything now. Like, it feels supernatural and organic because we've kind of grown into it. But it's really changed things a lot, especially in terms of things like animation studios and the way they work.
Yeah, freelancing is like a huge thing now. Like, it's a lot easier to do.
Yeah,
of course, yeah, because you can actually send file like, hey, here's a massive canvas. Let me know what you think. It's like, okay, I'll get back to you in a week once it downloads. And then it's like,
yeah. It's never as efficient as being able to be face to face with someone, but it's great that places like Studio Yota can exist now, and Game Grumps Animated can happen.
Yeah, so you guys were part of the big collab, Game Grumps Animated, the 5-year thing.
Yeah.
Have you guys thought about doing your own, just independent, not independent, but whatever it is, like standalone? There we go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Indie
Game Grumps Animated.
Yeah, so much. I mean, Mike's going to automatically be pulled on board by me to do colours on it, no doubt. But yeah, I'd love to do something like that. We were back and forth about it. We've backed and forth about it a couple of times. I remember last time that we were chatting, I was saying that I really want to try some massive robot animation, Evangelion style. So we were looking at the robot golf series and being like,
oh my golf! I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it's like competitive golf except for massive robots. It's quite funny.
Yeah,
Aaron
okay.
has several meltdowns through it,
Those are the best.
which are always good. So maybe that, but I have to wait till November to take on anything. But I'm really excited to do one of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I've never done one before. I'm such a massive fan.
I definitely like the first two I did were about a minute long, and that's the requirement. It has to be at least a minute long. But that's not too hard to do.
Yeah. And then you have your epic 2-minute extravaganza.
Yeah.
You can do it.
It's always like it's so much more fun accepting these jobs than doing them. It's just, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do 2 minutes. I'm gonna do all this cool stuff, and then it's like I get into the middle of it, and then Powerhouse is like, hey, we're starting to hit crunch time on this. We need you for this, and then it's like another freelance gig will be like, hey, we changed the schedule, and then I'm sitting there with way too much on my plate.
Yeah. Oh man, that always happens.
You should hire an assistant, like, that can just pick up the slack on some of the peripheral tasks for you.
Michael, are you trying to farm me out?
No.
Well, like, I have on the last two Gamers Animated, I had a different artist do the backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and both were credited, of course, and paid.
Awesome.
But yeah, this one I want to see if I can do the backgrounds myself.
Yeah.
But I might, you know, depending on how far it gets, you know, maybe get someone in for help with color or stuff like that.
Yeah. Might take the word colour and immediately.
What did you call me the other day? Color bear.
Yeah.
Color bear?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's adorable.
Did you know that bears are one of the few mammals that can see in color?
I didn't know there was not a lot of mammals that could see in color.
Yeah.
I know butterflies apparently can see like way more color than we can.
Oh, that's good. It'd be a shame if they couldn't, given the fact that they are massively colourful.
I mean, I have to wonder about that. Like, apparently they have a lot more rods and cones in their head, but it's also got to be a software thing, right? Insects don't have a lot of intelligent software.
Mm-hmm.
So do they really see the colors, or do they just have more rods and cones that can accept more colors?
Yeah.
You know, because it's got to go through the brain.
Yeah.
Is it not is it a mantis shrimp or something?
Yeah,
like,
that's the one that apparently can see like spectrums that we can't even comprehend.
Yeah. I think because they have like a brain that is dedicated to vision, and another one that's like dedicated for the rest.
Oh, that's kind of cool. That'd be neat to have a vision brain.
Yeah.
I'd like that, yeah. Maybe we could see Octamarine.
They can also sonic boom glass. Like.
Yeah, their strikes are so fast that the pressure in the water that's creates like a little shockwave.
Yep.
That's a really cool animal.
So cool.
Don't touch them.
That animal needs its own platform game.
They're crazy looking too. If you've ever seen them.
Yeah, I've seen pictures there. Like, okay, I'm gonna bring one up because
cool.
This is where
The chat has to be curious.
They must know.
I'm not even sure if they're awake. You awake? Oh, hey, Insaniac. Mantis shrimp. Look at this thing. You're so colorful.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So is it a coincidence that the most colourful animals can see the most colour, or?
Maybe they put on visual displays for like other mantis shrimp. Although I think they're quite solitary things. But yeah.
The thing that confuses me about that a little bit is if a lot of animals have very bright colours to try and warn predators that they might be poisonous, if most predators can't see in colour anyway, like, is their defense mechanism just useless?
Well, it might be a spectrum thing, right? Because like dogs can technically see some colors, just not enough of a spectrum to really consider it like full color vision.
Okay.
You know, they see like browns and reds, right? I think that's why like most alert colors are kind of orange or yellow.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting that Homo sapiens are one of the few mammals that can see a wide spectrum of colors.
I think it would be nice to have a website where you can put an image in and it will show you how a different animal would see that colour, and you can drop down a list of different animals. Because I want to know, Mike, how would a butterfly see your comic?
My comic, is it?
Yeah.
I have to know.
Yeah, and again, like, can they, right? Because it's not just the fact that they have the, butterflies have more rods and cones to see this, but do they have the processing power?
Yeah.
It could just be like like how we have vestigial tails or something. It could just be a bunch of excess neurons that, that don't get processed,
Yeah, for sure. Man, animals are amazing though. Gee, sometimes I look at the animals in the world and it feels like we're living on a different planet or something. Like, that exists on Earth? Really? Like, sometimes I just look at a giraffe and I'm like, that's a weird looking animal.
Giraffes are pretty weird in the face. Like, we went to the zoo last year and they have like an elevated platform where the giraffes can like fully come up and get fed and stuff. And you just look at like a giraffe's head shape.
Yeah.
They're super weird.
They're amazing, but yeah, such a strange...
So, the Homo sapien has got, or the Homo sapien, us, humans, we have 7 cervical vertebrae on our neck. Do you know how many a giraffe has?
4.
What?
No.
Probably tons, like 17 or something.
They have 7.
7?
The exact same amount.
What?
Yeah, a lot of animals have the same number of bones with like some small deviations, especially mammals, with just different sizes.
Wow.
I don't feel like I have the mobility of a giraffe.
I mean, they got more muscles. I mean, not more muscles, but they have like their muscles are a lot stronger around there, obviously. But yeah, they've got an axis and an atlas, and then the rest of the cervical neck bones. They're just giant.
That's amazing. I'd love to create some really weird looking creatures just by taking a skeleton and warping it and changing the size of things and seeing what happens.
I mean, that's kind of how we got like a lot of the dinosaurs for a while. Where it's just like the scientists didn't really know how the bones went together, so they just kind of took a guess.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, like this is gonna be this one, and like now they're like, oh, that dinosaur doesn't exist. Right? It's actually
Yeah, there's a lot of like classifications of dinosaur species that have been taken from a singular bone and just guessed at. Where it's just like, prove me wrong.
I do like the idea of them being giant death chickens.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a good giant death chicken?
I could go for some giant death chicken right now.
It's a caveman's delicacy, giant death chicken. Sure, you lose half the tribe trying to get it, but
worth
delicious.
That's not the right color. Maybe I can color pick.
Yeah, the problem for me with the game that's animated is always just like I have so many things I want to do. And I want to do them all right now.
What's going on?
I'm just saying that there's always so many things that I want to do, so many projects that I have waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
I wish I could just do all of them at once,
I wish, yeah, like you had like a bunch of clones of yourself or something. And you'd be like, you're gonna be on color duty, and you're gonna be on composition, and you're gonna do this. And it'd be like, it's my own studio that I don't have to pay because they're all me.
Not even that. Like if I just had unlimited time, that'd be amazing. Because I still want to do all the things. I just
need Hermione's little time necklace thingy.
Yeah, give me the time turner.
Also, I'm sending you something on Discord.
Yeah.
Let me just find it here. Animatic. V1.
Still
all right, so here's the latest. What's that?
I was asking Swift, so you still want me to push their house into the background like the adjacent houses?
I do.
Okay.
The house makes sense now, but it's still not meant to be what you're looking at. So.
Okay.
Aha, I'm opening it. Swifty Swift. love this episode.
What's that?
I love this episode so much. Okay.
Oh, we're doing okay in Stannard. Just trying to get the this is the final.
What's that?
This is the final pass on this comic that I'm doing now, where it's like quality check, tweaking everything to be final.
Gotta do quality check.
Yep, no more time for the bigger tweaks, really. Yeah, that looks so cool. That looks so good, Patrick. I love it.
So that's where the animatic is at the moment.
It looks great. Which part are you having trouble with?
There's a few areas I'm not just like shot transitions. I'm not so sure about. I think I'm okay for the most part with the first explosion out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right. So this is all happening in a bathroom, obviously. I mean, I say obviously. It's just chicken scratch on the screen right now. And then after that, I'm not quite so sure. So we have Aaron hits the ground after he gets exploded, and then we have kind of what's his name? Why can't I remember his name now? Paul Tompkins, kind of behind a wall now, as he like pulls out like a little detonator device, which will be more evident when I animate it. We see Aaron in the mirror get up and go, "Ah, they're everywhere!" And then we have a nice explosion transition. And then after that, I'm not sure if he should be that up close, because I'm kind of using it as like a scene transition.
Yeah.
And then after that, then we have the crosshairs. I'm not sure if that's syncing too well. But I like the idea of Aaron in the crosshairs, like freaking out.
Yeah, I love that shot when he's backpedaling.
Yeah.
That's great. You should definitely keep that. It's working really well.
So yeah, these are just like what I'm working at. Again, I'm gonna do another pass on these, obviously, and tighten them up, and then after that, I might toss them your way, see what you think.
Oh yeah.
See if there's anything you would give me advice on to change, things like that.
I'd be honoured. That'd be amazing. But yeah, I mean, the looking down the scope and the aiming, going to crosshairs, like that's classic. That reads really well.
Yeah. I just like having this like focus on Aaron freaking the fuck. This whole episode is basically Aaron gets the shit beat out of him.
It really is. Well, it doesn't start completely that way, but yeah, it's all downhill.
I start off by killing Tim Baltz on the toilet.
That part's so good though. I love the pose when he's on the toilet and slumped down with his face on the floor laughing.
Yeah. I want him to be like really, he's laughing it off because it is a game, right? But there's totally gonna be like blood everywhere.
That makes it even better though.
Yeah, I'm making some small. Where's the Discord group? Where are you guys at? I'm making some small adjustments to their designs, just some little tweaks. There.
Why is that? Is it to make them more animatable?
Gotta keep it simple.
Yeah.
They're on here for 2 minutes, so.
So one of the things which is cool about animation is, well, it's cool and it's irritating as well, is you design a character and then you animate them, and their sort of design changes through the animation, and then you're like, oh, that's what the design really is.
Oh yeah, because you get by the process of animating it, you find what's more comfortable to move around.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did you guys ever see the duelist shot I animated?
I don't
with those
think
crazy
so.
robot girls with the fire hair?
I don't think so.
I didn't.
Oh my god. Let me just go ahead and copy this image address for you. Imagine doing this. Talk about designs that are not meant for animation.
This is one of those times when someone's like, animate 1 million people on horseback, but the horses are made of water and they're on fire.
Something like that, kind of, yeah. Yeah, Yeah, put it up in the Discord group. It's an insane shot. I did not like animating those girls.
Oh yeah, I have seen this shot. Holy crap! Yeah, like those designs. Oh. I mean, I know last time you recommended place and trace for things like robots, kind of rigid designs.
Mm-hmm.
Did you use that a lot with this, or did you have any other ways to keep yourself sane? And
I have to take a look at it again. Let's see here.
Gosh, because it's so complicated, the fire and everything.
Oh, and the filigree all over their shoulders and on their abs, and the boob like lines everywhere. Whatever those are, where the plates come together.
Even the irises are like flowers almost. So
that part was done with a symbol.
Okay, good.
It's just a simple circle, so yeah.
Hopefully they were in it for this shot alone.
No, they were in a lot of shots.
Oh man.
Yeah, there was all kinds of crazy stuff we had to do for that. But yeah. I mean, there's a few methods to do. They're all relatively, I guess, intermediate animator level kind of stuff. Like, it's hard to like give animator levels, but it's definitely not something like if you're learning how to do flower sacks and simple walk cycles and stuff, you won't be able to tackle this.
Yeah.
It also relies on a certain level of draftsmanship, just like knowing, someone who's got enough figure drawing and life studies and stuff under their belt that they can understand the three-dimensionality of the object.
Yeah.
I did a recent Patreon post about that, about kind of the drawing requirements for certain types of animation. The fact that like these certain types of animation require the artist to let go and use their instincts, but that their instincts have to be solidified or have a really strong drawing foundation.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Like you do see people who are amazing at animation, but the drawings just aren't quite there, and likewise you see people who have incredible drawing skills but haven't studied animation very much.
Yeah. Spencer is a great example of someone who is like his drawing ability is just so good. He understands the dimensionality of everything he draws.
Yeah, I believe it. Seeing his work. Like that spacing as well, but it's so convincing. Every pose is so convincing. And it's not like it's rigid either, he knows where to push it.
But his entire animation style is just instinct based at this point. Like he can plan a shot, but like so much of it is just that his drawing is so solid and he knows how to feel things out. He has a martial arts background, so choreographing and animating these fights. I watch him do it, and he just goes, he has 2 frames that he just flips back and forth from until it feels right, and then he goes to the next one.
So he just keeps adjusting that one drawing.
Yeah, and he puts like everything on 3s and then he just animates straight through.
I really want to try that.
Yeah, so like the thing is, in order to make something faster, he adjusts the drawing, not the timing.
Mm-hmm.
To make it faster, he doesn't put it on 1s. He just changes what the drawing is. So he changes spacing all the time, but he doesn't really change timing that much.
I think that's why his spacing is so good, though, because that's the thing that I noticed about his animation the most, is his spacing is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, for everything. He just knows where to put things.
But yeah, I'm still figuring it out. My thing is that like I think I'm a better animator than I am an illustrator. I have a pretty wide breadth of knowledge as far as ways to animate, ways to make things move, and I'm learning now how to kind of use more instincts, but also I'm trying to get my drawings to be up to snuff.
Yeah.
Which is difficult.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is it's all practice. So.
Yup. Yeah. Gotta put the hours in.
Never gonna go backwards, so. Plus, your drawings look really, really good to me, so
Thank you.
Yeah.
I need to, I wonder if I actually have it. I might have. Let me look through. Let me find something really embarrassing here. I'm sure it's in here somewhere.
That's always fun.
Illustration. Oh, it goes 2009 and older. Let's find some really bad drawings. Oh my god. I did a caricature of Jason Ryan.
Oh, awesome.
And that was from... Does that have a date on it? Properties. Yeah, that is 2008. So, where are you? I'm gonna give this one directly to you so I don't put it in the peg bar.
Okay.
This one's awesome.
So this is like... Here's an early drawing I did.
Legitimate.
It's not great. Let's see. I'm trying to find some, like... something that's kind of indicative of my average skill level at that point.
It's amazing though, because you made a massive amount of progress in a really short amount of time. Because I saw that you posted one of your very early animation tests up on your Twitter, and it's been 7 years between then and now. And
Yeah.
the standard of your animation now is like through the roof. So it's incredible how much progress you've made and how quickly you've made it.
It's definitely interesting, the knowledge I've made about appeal and like volume, like proper volume. I knew how to cheat things for a long time. Right? I knew how to cheat volume, I knew how to cheat motion, stuff like that. You would the old charting trick of if I want to do a cushion, right? Then I do when I'm cushioning into a pose, let's say I'm doing drawings between frame 1 and frame 6.
Yeah.
You just wherever the cushion is going, you just keep cutting the motion in half, and so you just do the drawing in between the other two drawings in order. So it's almost like when you're taking a piece of paper and you just keep folding it in half, and it just keeps getting thinner and thinner. So you do an in between 1 and 6, and then you do an in between 2 and 6, and then you do an in between 3 and 6, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I used to do that.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, that is a really great way to get... If you want to be fast, it's a super fast way to do it. But when you animate like that, when you do that type of charting, that type of in-betweening, you are focusing more on a line between a line and not on the actual volume or the drawing itself. And so I could punch out animation like that with relative ease, but I wasn't understanding what I was doing as much. And so now I try to... Now everything, even like the in-betweens, I think about the arcs and the motion, and, it's... use that instinct, that kind of straight ahead type of animation a little bit more, and then you refine it afterwards.
Yeah. Man, it's just reminded me of this amazing animator that I sometimes watch. He does live streams on YouTube. He's called Kojo Tano.
Kojo Tano.
Yeah. Kojotanno. And everything that he animates is straight ahead, and he just works in pen with no
What?
I'm like, how the heck? And his work's really good. But, man oh man.
Yeah, where is he? Where's Kojo Tano?
His avatar is like just a pink box.
It is just a pink box. Let's see this. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I've seen this before, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's crazy to watch him work.
What the hell am I looking at? Is that not traced? The background's moving, and it looks like it could be a 3D background.
Yes, he does use his Blender to do his backgrounds.
Okay. I was about to say, that's a lot of unnecessary work if that was just straight up drawn.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he uses a toon shader or if he just draws over the top of them.
This is like, what am I thinking of? Something meets Akira. Oh, dude, his hand just got ripped off.
Yep. I love that shot though.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely feel the straight aheadness of it. The thing is, when you're using your instincts and you have enough of that practice built up, when you're doing that type of animation, you tend to get more interesting arcs.
Yeah.
Because you're not... When you're thinking strictly on pose to pose, and you're doing the pose, a lot of times when people do a pose, they're focusing on readability and silhouette and stuff. but they don't focus on like twisting motion very much.
Right.
It tends to be almost kind of you're limited into what your brain thinks is important for doing a pose. When you're doing straight ahead and you're thinking of the motion, the momentum makes you move things in more interesting arcs.
Yeah, it carries you through, doesn't it? 'Cause you can feel the momentum as you're doing it. Whereas when you're doing pose to pose, you know the pose, if this is the last pose, you're going to end here and the motion's going to be finished. Whereas in straight ahead, there's always the temptation to keep it going because you feel like now this arm would keep swinging, and that would bring this round and that round.
That's how Spencer gets such interesting arcs of motion.
Yeah. Wow. What a guy.
The more you know.
Yeah.
So.
I'm excited to give that a go.
It's crazy. I'm learning so much, but like, yeah. There's I'm trying to find this other artist online. I can't seem to remember his damn name, which is killing me right now. But he's kind of like represents the next level that I'd like to reach, despite the fact that he's a decade younger than I am.
Who cares?
I try not to. Put effort into not caring.
Yes. I have a couple of those too, though. Like, Gene McKenna, I think, is incredible. And is it Capatoni? Let me find them, and I'll just link them in the chat. Capomontone.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love it. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, he's 20 years old.
I know. Isn't he crazy?
And he does like all this in like TV paint and stuff like that. I would like to see him clean up an animation.
Yeah.
They're all very rough, and the thing is, when you're doing rough animations, your brain kind of fills in the gaps for you and can make it look a little bit tighter than it may actually be.
Yeah.
So that's why I like doing really small cleanup lines on your animation is a really good way to kind of highlight your issues you might be having.
Small cleanup lines.
Yeah, he's flipping fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I'm just looking at his stuff now. Oh.
He's in school right now at some place called CSC or whatever that is.
Just his stuff is gorgeous. I can't, I look at it and it's just like, it's got the feeling and he's got all this dimensionality and his quality of line is great. There was this great one he did where it was just the character that he draws a lot, just shaking his ass essentially, but the S curves.
Yeah, I have that one favorited.
Yeah, it's just
the volume in it is so spot on.
Yeah, and there's one I'm looking at now where like the body's squashing and stretching in this great way, and you can feel like the density of the muscles and the fat and everything.
It's amazing. The little gun flip one he does, where the guy's spinning the gun around on his finger.
Yeah,
it's just insane.
Oh. Animation heroes. Yeah.
So, he's figured something out. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And we just need to figure out what he figured out, and then we can utilize it.
Actually, Tibbs found a way to get MP4s from Twitter.
So I have them all saved.
Okay. Just thought I'd do the heads up on that in case you didn't know. Because there's a couple of people whose Twitters I've just gone through, and this is definitely one of them.
I wonder if you guys can see this on the stream, but as a matter of fact, I can just pull this up here. If I go to my desktop personal, I have an animation reference folder.
Yeah.
And it's gigantic. I have everything split between acting, action, demo reels and movies, Disney, because that's its own category, fighting, powerhouse stuff, and special effects, and then a little bit for 3D.
That's awesome. You're way more organized than I am. Mine all going to the same place.
Well, these all get used for like my powerhouse stuff. So I just have loads and loads of reference footage I'll pour through and see if I can find something I want to emulate. And there you go.
Oh,
now you guys know my terrible secret.
It's I'd say it's music to my ears, except I can't hear it. It's music to my eyes.
I just got asked whether I could show something, and I was away making a sandwich. What did you talk about, and what What can it potentially be showed?
I think we were just geeking out about Spencer 1, and then we were geeking out about Capatoni, who I keep forgetting how to say his name.
Okay.
Capamontone.
Yeah, Capamontone. Or Montoni. I know he's Italian.
So it could be, it's probably Montoni.
Yeah. But he's just flippin' amazing.
Yes. So many things that I want to study and get better at. It's so exciting.
I just want to get like a giant straw and suck out their knowledge and not have to put the work in.
I just wish that my work reaped results sooner. Because I get so enthusiastic and I start trying to do it and I'm like, oh, this still looks like me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just imagined that all the animations you were doing they just looked like you.
They kind of do.
This is supposed to be
way.
a burly man, and it's just like it didn't mean tiny.
I can be a burly man.
Please don't.
So what's your name? My name's India. India Swift.
I animate.
I'd love
like to take drawings. I make them move sometimes. It's, it's a fun pastime.
When my beard doesn't get in the way.
Yeah. It's like, God, did you pick up smoking or something? Yeah, I go through like a lighter a day now.
She picked up smoking.
Cigarettes. Just lighters now.
Yeah, she picked up smoking and weights.
I pick up everything I can now.
Oh, you got gorshed. Who's gorshed me?
You got what? Oh, that's right, the goofy thing.
It's incredibly creepy. I keep telling Mike not to leave his OBS on after he's streamed, because it'll be on and I'll be like in here at 1 in the morning or something, and just from behind me there'll be this gorge with this echo on it, and it'll be like the creepiest thing.
That's terrifying.
It really is. It's awful.
Never leaving it off.
Mid-music track too. You'll listen to something epic and then you'll just hear Goofy halfway through. No bueno.
You'll need to get yourself a similarly John T audio thing, Patrick.
What's that?
You'll need to get your own audio, eccentric audio clip.
I need to do something. Yeah, I need to do like more little animations and stuff like that for whenever someone just, I guess, I don't know, subscribes.
Well, you do really good at like voices anyway, so you're covered for that. We had to get Kevin to do ours because we're terrible.
We didn't have to. I thought it would be good and funny.
It is. It's because we didn't do it.
How dare you? I can do things with my voice when I need to.
Yeah, that's another thing that I'd like to do too, is just more kind of fun little animations to have on the stream and such. It's just where do you fit it in?
I think that'd just be nice to do in general. Like, I think once my film's done, I'm gonna start focusing on just doing little animations.
I think you'll have earned it.
Yeah.
You know, between the film and the Game Grumps animated, I think, and the full-time job.
Yep.
I like how taking it easy for you is like still having the full-time job and probably doing the Game Grumps animated, but just doing slightly less challenging animations.
Yeah, actually, one of the things I wanted to do after the film was done was a series of really short animations, but that kind of like were really intense.
I like the sound of that.
You know, kind of like masterclass animations or something. Also to do more, I want to do more acting as well. I don't do enough acting animation. I do mostly action.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I mean, I love your motion. Like, the way that you animate is incredible, but that'd be really interesting to see. Have you thought about taking improv classes or anything?
Yeah, I thought about that. I tend to do okay for improv, but I could definitely get better at it.
Mm-hmm.
I did a little bit of it in high school, and it was fun. I liked it.
Yeah, it's like adult playtime.
Once you learn yes and, it gets a lot easier. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's something I just try to use in everyday life now.
It's very
definitely makes for interesting conversations.
Yeah. And
it's a good way of collaborating with people. Yeah, I see where you're going with that, and you could probably do this with it too.
Just I like the mindset of not blocking people. It's really nice.
Oh jeez, my backend storage on my computer is just completely full. Okay.
Eep.
Basically having Aaron run around and getting shot at now. It's pretty fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun. He brings so much joy to people's lives.
Just him just getting shot at?
Yeah. Be able to animate him in various unfortunate situations.
India.
Hmm?
Are you okay for me to delete? I need to get rid of a lot of this captured footage.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, there's a whole bunch of Night in the Woods that we played but never put up.
Yeah.
Of us playing the alternate route through and discussing things.
So keep some of that, yeah, I guess.
What if you stick it on a hard drive and just delete it from your computer?
I could do that. But it's like... It's only 500 gigabytes.
That's a fair amount though. I remember in university when 1 gigabyte was a big deal.
Yeah. Where is our portable hard drive?
I don't know.
That's India's memory powers.
Not connected to my computer, that's for sure.
Okay.
Well, it's gotta be somewhere. The most non-committal thing you can say.
Oh, there is something. There has to be something.
Mike's computer always has problems with storage. We're always right on the brink.
Video for this, so I can take out my computer.
You found it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Gonna make Aaron do some serpentining here, but like a wild animal that doesn't know where the tiger is.
Nice.
Just like going all over the place, all wall-eyed.
Oh,
There's something about people going wall-eyed when they're scared that just makes me laugh.
It's because it's hilarious.
Well,
the way you animate him and draw him too, like, really helps. Because he's got these tiny legs, which are good for kicking.
Yeah.
Kicking himself away from danger.
the last USB device you connected to this computer malfunctioned and could not be recognized.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
No, it's all going well. This is how it usually goes.
Oh.
Just don't expect things to work first time anymore. Too much stress in expecting computers to work.
Did you steal my cookies?
What? You ate them?
Did I? No, I didn't.
You did. That's why they're gone. You didn't even realise you consumed them. It just disappeared into the void.
Fine.
You can get more. There's plenty.
Okay, you really have to tell me. Oh no, I found them.
Oh, okay, you didn't eat them.
I didn't eat them.
You put them on the floor.
They must have fallen.
I'll just leave them here.
See, I'm in a relationship where I can't tell whether they fell by accident or whether Indy just saw them and was just like, these are on the floor now. Like, that's something she would do.
That's where these go.
I enjoy playing mind tricks on you, it's fun. Like the worst person to live with.
You know
when's your comic set to release?
Oh, like 2 weeks or something?
Yeah.
Oh my god, just 2 weeks.
I know! Ah!
Sorry, I shouldn't have said it like that.
Everything's fine. Everything's going well.
It's great. Yeah, we just sent it off last weekend. So sometime this week we should get the test print through, which is like a Frankenstein half-finished thing because we haven't got it completely together yet. And then I think we're sending it off by the end of the week for the final print because Thought Bubble is on the 22nd of this month.
Yeah.
And we got to fly over for it. So it's crazy.
Matthew's getting his wallet ready.
Oh, I'm scared because I had to push a deadline so much, and I had to try and get the pages out so fast. I just hope that the drawing quality is up to snuff for people. Just have to live in the eternal thought that next issue I'll do better. Next issue I'll do this and that, and I'll schedule properly, and it's all going to be great and grand, and there'll be unicorns everywhere. It's totally how it works.
Poor Aaron.
Yeah.
Just having so much fun with this. Can't wait till I can actually get this on model.
How much do you find that you change your rough drawings, like, completely? Or do you tend to stick fairly close?
It tends to change a little bit. The ones who probably change most will be Paul and Tim. Aaron I've done so many times now that it's pretty much solidified.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I love his dumpy bean shape.
Yeah, I call him my little muscle baby.
That's such a perfect name.
Yeah. I think the first was a Baloney Man. When that one came out, it was like just after Aaron had done a live show, and they brought up the fact that they always draw him shorter than Dan, and he went on this big rant about the fact that they're the same height, but they always draw him really short.
Yeah, we found the clip of you at the.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, just earlier today. Mike was listening to it while he was working.
Yeah, that was
and
funny.
it was the one.
You're the guy. Yeah, that was cool. And like now I've like been to their office and like said hi to them and stuff. It's really cool.
That's super cool.
Oh, that's amazing. That's life goals for us. Is I hope one day we can go and see them.
Well, if we're ever like all in the same spot at somewhere, I'm sure I could probably try to arrange something.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That'd be cool.
If you guys are ever in Texas, come by Powerhouse.
Definitely. Tacos and Powerhouse and burgers, please.
Wait, what?
Well, last time you were telling us about the amazing tacos that you have.
Oh yeah, they're so good. I think I was probably talking about Taco Deli.
Yeah. I mean, I wish we could offer you something as wonderful. We've got some time before you come over to try and find something, and then we can look super smart when you're here and be like, yes, this delicacy here, this Irish speciality.
We call it a potato.
Some people may call it a potato, but we call it a potato.
He's onto his mic.
I forgot who it was. We were talking about barbecue, and they described Irish barbecue as just a bloke cooking salmonella under an umbrella.
Oh, disturbingly accurate.
Oh, come on, recognize the thing so that I can thing the thing and then continue doing the thing.
Is your computer giving you sass?
Giving me lip. Or maybe the other hard drive is still in the bag.
Let's see.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. That's alright. Whoops. Let's not do that. There we go.
Gorsh. Gorsh.
Right. Let's do this. Whoops.
There we go.
That was incorrect. There we
There's
go.
only 300 gigabytes on it. That will do. Wait, Guild Wars 2 properties.
What?
I've got like the data files for Guild Wars 2 on this hard drive.
Coming together bit by bit.
Does he jump through a window there at the end?
What's that?
Does he jump through a window there at the end?
He's jumping into a bathroom stall.
I see.
Yeah, and then because the next line is Aaron goes, "You threw it in the toilet," and then it explodes again.
Oh, nice. So you're just gonna hold on the door and then have the explosion.
Well, he's gonna jump in, and then we have a shot of. Let's see. Hold on. Let me hear the dialogue. What do we got here? He goes. He says, "Where am I?" Okay, so he says, "Where am I?" And then he says, "Oh my God, you threw it in the toilet." So I'm probably gonna have like a view of Aaron kind of straight on from the toilet, and we just see that it's full of proxy mines.
Nice. Did you ever play GoldenEye?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I never owned a 64, but I played it at a friend's house.
Oh, likewise. And I loved that level because you would just you'd start in the ventilation shaft, and you just know that you'd get down and there'd just be like a mine in the toilet, and there'd be no way, there'd just be nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's weird that to think that we all played that shooter without a lot of issue, because it's tank controls, right? Like it's not dual. There wasn't a dual another stick.
Yeah.
So it was just you just move and then rotate and then move. You couldn't do it at the same time.
Yeah. I wonder what it was about it that made it feel so intuitive.
I don't know. It might have been the novelty of it just being new.
That game just has something.
Did they not have some of the camera movements to the C buttons or something?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think they thought that far ahead. I mean, maybe they did. I could be completely wrong.
I can't remember.
I don't. Do Paul F. Tompkins shooting at him like a villain here from the hip, just. Ah!
Oh, that's gonna be so much fun. Are you thinking about doing awesome stuff with the lighting for that, for the nozzle flare?
Oh yeah, oh for sure.
That's gonna be an amazing shot.
These drawings are so bad. There's just so much wrong with these drawings, but it's okay. It's okay.
They would be beautiful at the end.
Whoops. Saving for auto recovery. Okay. Okay, there we go. Woo. There we go.
That top hat just really helps the villainy in this shot.
Yeah. It's this drawing is so bad. It's driving. It's. I know it's not supposed to be good, but it's just driving me insane.
You can't leave
the fact
it.
that his head's so disjointed. What? It's good enough. Good enough. Moving on to the next one. Jesus. Give myself an aneurysm.
It'll be fine.
What's that?
It'll be fine.
Alright, so we're gonna make a shot here.
So, is there any reference that you're going to look at for this animation in particular?
What? I've looked at a little bit of Rick and Morty, honestly enough. The later seasons have some really good action scenes.
Oh, cool.
And they're kind of cartoonier, too. So, I've been representing... I don't know who does the effects work for this new Rick and Morty season, but they're doing a stellar job.
Ah, cool.
All the effects animation in the latest Rick and Morty season is on point.
Oh, that's really cool.
I've not seen any of the latest stuff.
No.
I need to get on that.
So, add it to the watch list.
Also, hello, Al, and hello, Ali. Welcome to the stream.
Catching up with the stream again.
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, I need to transfer some of this Let's Play, like, captured footage. Because my hard drive is literally just ground to a halt and I couldn't save my Photoshop file. Which is not a good place to be in. I think I might be able to...
It's like your computer waits until you're streaming. And
Yeah.
then it's like, nope, not working anymore. You have to fix me.
I think I just need to delete a ton
What's the
of
name
stuff.
of that guy that... trying to remember his name. I can't think of it. It's like Jaguar or something.
What's this?
It's a Rick and Morty thing. I'm trying to think of like who
Oh.
Pickle Rick fights. I think his name's Jaguar. And he's like a typical action hero.
Everyone keeps saying Pickled Rick. And I haven't got there, so I have no clue what they're talking
Oh,
about.
that's like one of the first episodes of the new season.
Does it have an amazing scene in it or something?
I mean, Pickle Rick's got some great action scenes. Highly recommend it.
I'm really looking forward to watching it. We're at the stage of preparation for Thought Bubble.
What's
We've
that?
never done a convention before. So at the minute we're in kind of preparation mode where I'm just ordering like a shed load of prints and stuff from places.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, but once they're ordered, there's going to be a lot of time in which we're just sitting waiting for stuff to arrive. So that's our golden window.
To just
time.
do...
Yeah, just sit and watch all the stuff we've missed.
Well,
It's gonna be good.
Rick and Morty's a pretty good series to watch.
Yeah.
I think someone had recommended me Passepartout, the Starving Artist game, but I've never played it.
What was that? The Starving Artist game?
Yeah.
Aren't we playing that right now?
Yeah, it might just hit too close to home for me. Oh.
What scene number are we on right now? I'm 19. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just going through old files and I just found an old.
I might have to make like dedicated like bullet like pings or whatever, like as far as an effects animation, because there's a lot of bullets flying around here.
Oh yeah, damn. I didn't even think about that, but you're right. It would help to have like a couple that you could drop in.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of anywhere I need them.
Yeah, because you can still animate like 3 or 4, but man, if you had to animate every bullet when someone's firing a machine gun.
Yeah.
That's a good idea to save time.
Do any of you guys I think it's Michael, don't you use like a 3D program to make your backgrounds?
Sometimes I use Blender to mock up interior environments for India to use as a visual reference for getting different fields of view and that sort of thing.
Okay. Because like if I could get I'm trying to think of like how to do something like that, like make a 3D model for this background, because that would make things a lot easier. Because it's just one environment, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just doing all kinds of crazy camera angles in this one environment.
Yeah. It was so helpful for me in the comic because I'm not great at backgrounds or architecture, and being able to place a camera around was so helpful. You use Blender though, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Which is free.
Blender.
Yeah. Have you ever? Yeah, you've 3D modeled, right?
Yeah, a little bit when I was younger. Yeah, I haven't done it in a long time though.
Yeah, Blender's it's decent for a free program.
It does what you need it to.
Yeah, it's a little different, like user input wise for different buttons and stuff. But once you get used to that, it's grand.
It seems pretty simple to use. Like once you've got used
I've heard
to
of that, or like SketchUp was another one I've heard of.
Oh yeah, I've heard of SketchUp too.
I've used that a little bit. I never clicked with me. India. Oh, it's not the booties picture, but it's Yin with the scarf.
Oh, Patrick, can you finally see my RPG cat? I think I was saying on the chat, I don't know if it was last week or something, or the week before, that my cat Yin had an operation, and to stop her from scratching the part which had stitches, my mum made her little booties.
Yes.
So she had these tiny woolen boots, and then for further protection, she got this neckerchief. So she had like a cape and tiny boots, and she just looked like she was like an RPG character or something. It was adorable.
You guys take a picture of this or something?
Yeah,
it's on the stream just now. Post it in the chat somewhere.
Yeah, stick it in the chat. It doesn't have the booties because the bottom of the picture is cropped, unfortunately, but you at least get to see the neckerchief. And you can see a bit of her bald patch.
Is it in the Discord chat? Oh, there it goes. Aww.
Poor
little black kitty.
Yeah. She's so
She looks so happy.
She looks grumpy all the time normally, so it's a nice change.
Resting cat face.
Yeah, pretty much.
I miss Yin. She's really great.
You'll get to see her soon. But yeah, you should say about Sketchfab, because that's really good to use with Blender.
Yeah, I mean, Sketchfab is like an online model viewer.
Oh yeah?
You can set up different materials and lighting scenarios and move the lights and stuff around. So say you
That's awesome.
Yeah, say you set up a lighting, like multiple lights within the scene. Sketchfab can like hook into those, and you can move those around. Or there's like HDR kind of lit environments as well, skyboxes and stuff. It's just a cool way to show like I made a model and you can see it in its in real time.
Check that out. Sketchfab.
Yeah. I'll put it in your chat for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Sure. I find it way easier to move around the model in that than I do in Blender. Like it's just nicer to be able to zoom in and out. Is this a blur frame I see? Yes, it is. Nice. Nice head turn.
Sketchfab. Alright. Into a new dimension. Oh, it's a robot. Oh, little robot. That's cool.
Do you want me to link you one of the ones we did actually? Because then you can see how.
It was like a classroom, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, this is cool though. I like that they animate too. That's neat.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a better way of showing like your work in a portfolio than just rendering stuff out.
I find it helpful anyway because I'm still struggling with perspective, so it's nice to be able to see how things actually work in real life. Instead of just in my head.
Let's slow them down even more. Here we go.
Oh, awesome.
What's that?
I'm just looking at more feedback, and there's only feedback has been reserved to only the top of the page, which is like cool.
Awesome.
See, I'm not a total monster.
That's harsh to bind. Yeah, fair enough. Not a monster at all. I tell you, like, doing a 50-page comic is
crazy.
Yeah, like trying to keep a handle on everything and keeping the quality control up is hard.
It's okay.
I can imagine.
Here. Yeah, I'll be happy to be able to take a bit more time on the next issue.
Bring on book 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Do that thing. I'm really looking forward to getting back and doing a Game Grumps animated or something. Slightly less pressure, though.
Ethan just says pet, pet, pet.
Pet, pat, pot, pet, pat, pet, pot.
Yeah, I get to do the toilet scene now.
Speaking of which, I'm going to pop to the loo. Hopefully it won't blow up. We'll see.
Nice.
You better know that. Any mines in there, Mike?
Yeah, I'm notorious for that. And then let's just make this.
You say something?
Yeah, I'm just mumbling to myself about, like, let's make this a different color, blah 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 blah.
Ah, gotcha.
I got to do some really fun pages over the last couple of days, which involved, like, explosions and stuff, which is, like, not a U-turn, but it's, like, taking a right turn off of an established path. Like, a lot of the scenes, early scenes are, like, she's in school, or she's in the library, and then, like, the kind of climax stuff in the comic is...
A lot of kind of very simple indoor spaces.
Yeah. There's some calm stuff. I mean, there's some instances where she's getting emotionally abused by a bully and stuff, so they were a bit more...
Well, that's always fun.
Yeah, outlandish colors.
This is scene 6. Okay, we're good. Well, after this explosion in the bathroom scene, next up should be the missile scene, and then we're almost pretty much done with the scribble pass, and I can start refining it.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. I really do need to do, like, a nice background, though.
Is it, the, like, bathroom scene, are you going to model it on the GoldenEye level, or are you going to embellish it a little?
I was probably going to... I'm making my own bathroom, but I'll probably use similar colors. You know, a lot of muted greens and teals and blues and grays and stuff like that.
I'm with you on that.
Amazing how many shots this has, my lord.
I think that might have been the most played level I ever played, was that.
Oh, yeah?
Starting in the, yeah. Because why wouldn't you?
Alright, let's see here. Scene 20. What does scene 20 be?
Hey Alyssa. Hey Mason. Hey RS.
Oh.
Hey Nathan.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, wait.
There are a lot of Periscope people.
Periscope?
Yeah, so it's Twitter bot Periscope.
Yeah.
So it's like they're, although they now have like straight to Twitter live streaming, but it's more of a site for kind of people that on the ground reporting news almost. Like if they're at an event, then they're like, "Hey, watch me."
I gotcha.
But it hooks into OBS, so have some comic art.
Reporting live to you from our office.
There we go.
15 hours later, and we're still animating.
I do
Pretty
notice,
much.
I do notice that I don't know if it's a part of the service, but you'll have one user that kind of like joins, and then they'll say hello in a multitude of languages. I don't know if it's like they're just trying them to see which one gets a response.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No clue. I forgot to say as well, the Game Grumps are coming to Ireland.
Yeah, they are. They're gonna go see Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, so we've got ourselves tickets to see the show, which is really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so excited.
Put a bunch of wires and a bunch of little proxy mines all over this toilet seat. Are you guys fans of Jacksepticeye?
Honestly, I haven't watched much of him.
He's pretty entertaining. He's very energetic.
Yeah, I saw a couple of his early episodes of Night in the Woods. He does a great Greg because he has that energy.
I should probably give him a watch since he's going to be at the show.
What is his accent? What county is he from, do you think?
Oh my goodness. You're asking the wrong person.
Is
Might
it not
keep the clue.
like North Republic, like in the middle north?
Something like that. I know apparently he chose like on purpose to say like the most Irish welcome ever, which is top of the morning to you.
Yeah. Which is great.
Top of the morning to you. My name is Jacksepticeye.
I do like his punch the like button in the face.
Yeah, I'll have to give him a watch for sure. A lot of people who like Game Grumps and like only like him as well, so
yeah,
it's a fair chance.
He's
I'm gonna enjoy it.
Definitely got that sort of like the psychological trigger where you know the top of the morning to the intro. Like,
yeah.
Suddenly, like I'm listening to a Jacksepticeye video now.
Smart dude.
Yeah.
He has an absurd amount of subscribers. I've thought about doing a Markiplier or a Jacksepticeye animation at some point.
Yeah.
Do they have a big following also who do animations of their stuff?
They have a big following, but they don't have as many animations. I think is interesting.
Yeah, I thought they might not, just because the Game Grumps, like, they're quite centered on animation because a couple of the members of the Game Grumps are animators themselves. And have their own animation channels.
I sent them a letter recently because that Agents of Mayhem game came out.
Yeah.
So I purchased one for them and then sent it to them.
Nice.
Like a bunch of signatures from the studio.
Oh, that's awesome.
But in it, I commended them because of their Game Grumps animated, which I kind of likened to, it's like open mic night for animators.
Yeah.
And I love that idea.
Yeah, me too. I found so many good animators through that.
What's that?
I found so many good animators through the Game Grumps animated.
Yeah.
And they're just super entertaining to watch and listen to, so it's perfect practice, like great sound clips to use.
I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who did the Toad one.
Oh man.
Oh, that was
the Toads at War. That one was so good.
Yeah, that was Steak Robot.
Yeah, but like I forgot what his real name is. Like something simple like Frank or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was epic.
Let me ask him.
So
Yeah.
long.
Is he online right now?
He may be.
I love the style of it too.
Yeah, it's so good. I wonder what he's doing these days.
Probably animating something else amazing. He's in the Discord, right, Mike?
Somewhere, yeah. I think he. Well, I definitely have him on Discord, but I don't know if he's in ABC yet.
Oh, we need to get him in ABC.
ABC?
Animation Breakfast Club.
Oh, God, I didn't know it was called ABC. I don't know why that never clicked for me.
Ta-da!
Whoa. That was terrifying.
Sorry. It's right next to the bike, and I just realised. Whew.
Blink. You might have also been getting the.
Oh, I hope not.
Do split audio. There
Yeah,
we go.
get all the animators that we really admire. Get them all into Discord so we can talk to them and learn from them.
Here we go.
That is a toilet full of minds.
You can't see it because it's, again, chicken scratch, but in the beginning when Tim is complaining that he's literally in the toilet, we do this kind of cutaway shot to show both stalls. I show that what's his name, why can't I never remember? Paul is like lining this stall over here with proxy mines.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw that. That made me laugh. Like just this person next door who's just sowing the seeds of destruction.
I need to make sure these colors correspond to the very previous page's colors. This one feels a little muted in comparison.
Alright, so if I don't respond, it's because I can't hear you because this is really loud, but I'm going to do a render.
Cool. No worries.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
It'll just take a sec.
Now we can say anything.
Yeah. There we go.
You can say nice things.
Patrick's a really cool guy.
Yeah, sure. I heard he fights kittens.
Kittens always win every fight.
Oh, apparently Elle is like through the animated grump is how she found us.
Really? Oh man, that's awesome. Elle's such a good friend now. I admire her work so much.
She's the best friend.
She's really inspiring too.
The shadow is too purple. I need to make the house look intimidating, so let's make it blue.
It's coming together. Bit by... Wait, what? What are you guys saying?
Nothing, actually. Gee willikers.
Although Rewop is reacting to what you just said in here.
What was she?
She is
I don't
saying,
even remember what I just said.
She's saying "Grah!" and then like crying face.
Oh, okay. I thought she was reacting to kittens, so that makes more sense.
No, yeah.
Yeah, Elle's the best. Elle's working her own crazy deadline right now. She's working on a graphic novel that she has a couple of months to the completion date, so it's all go on her end as well.
Cheers for the retweets, fair
Right,
enough.
I'll be right back.
Okay, dokie.
I believe you.
Give these secret messages for Patrick to pick up later. We love you, Patrick.
He's not going to get any of the audio ones.
Why not?
Because that's not how these work.
It's not how recording streams works.
Yes, Aline, pick a deadline. And
Any deadline.
Make it super short. You can do it.
Oh, what? No, wait. What are you advising Aline to just pick a deadline for a comic?
Mm-hmm.
Aline, wait! Don't be hasty! You have so much to live for.
No, make it tight, Aline.
Don't throw it all away.
Compromise. Take all the shortcuts.
No.
Finish the thing.
No.
Eat the bear.
Whatever you do, make it manageable. Don't make the same mistakes I did.
Yeah, but look, you have a comic now. What does Aline have? It's just a bunch of sculptures.
I'm 14
some
years
incredible
old.
skull drawings and what?
And an amazing artistic ability. That stands and inspires
Yeah,
me.
but she doesn't have a
every day.
comic, does she? She doesn't have a comic I can colour yet, does she? No, she's set a
Oh,
deadline.
I see. You just want her to make the comic so you can colour it. Selfish dog.
I'm a selfish dog.
Working the artist to death so that you have something to do.
Come on, Aline.
Have I not given you enough to do? Come on, Aline. Dur, 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 dur. Sorry, you said that and it kind of triggered the Come on, Eileen song into my head. Have I not given you enough work?
No.
Okay. I'll give you some more.
No. I'll kill you. Oh, I killed him.
You've gone slightly mad, haven't you?
No, that's a quote from Lake Placid.
And I understand now, but it still is no more justified. I understand, but I don't understand why.
I triggered Alan. This is great.
Into
Don't let
what?
them grind your soul into a fine powder, though. It's okay, India. I never respect my deadlines anyway. It'd be nice to do something, though. Lol, Mike. How dare I will murder you, Mike. Then I will have your head.
You see, don't mess with Aline, she's hardcore. Doodah, doodah. Gonna draw all night, gonna draw all day. Hey. So what Game Grumps animated would you want to do, Mike, if you had the choice?
Are you picking fights with people in my chat?
Well, Michael was.
No, I'm picking fights with people on my chat.
Oh, fair enough. So I'm gonna make you guys real thirsty here in a sec.
Oh man, no.
I apologize.
Ah! Gosh darn. I might have to go and put the kettle on.
All right, there's something you don't hear in the States very much. Put the kettle on.
Well, I mean, you guys are pretty hot most of the time over there, right? So.
Well, in Texas for sure, but
Yeah.
you know, if you're up north, you know, all the northern states get real cold.
Okay.
In Michigan, it was I have to find out what the hell this is in Celsius. But Michigan got I think it was 2012, and my hometown got super cold in Michigan. It got negative 56 degrees Celsius.
Whoa! You see, I bet you people started drinking tea. Bet you started boiling the kettles then.
Yeah, it was not a good time.
That's crazy. That's insanely cold.
Yeah, it is. I know a lot of people in like. There's a lot of videos of people from that area, like Wisconsin and Indiana and Michigan, all taking pots of boiling water and throwing it out their window, and you'd hear the solid ice hit the ground.
Wait.
Hmm?
Is it pronounced Wisconsin?
Yeah. Well, Wisconsin, either one. Depends on where you're at.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I like
Needless to say, they're all cheeseheads. So.
Man, that's crazy though. Like, I'd love to see that boiling water turn into frozen ice.
Yeah, you just don't want to experience it.
Nope. How do people function in that temperature?
How do you build stuff?
How do you function? Just how do you live?
Oh. I mean, it's the same thing like when it's really hot here, you just stay indoors where all the amenities are.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I always kind of laugh a little bit when I'm down here in Texas when I see houses with fireplaces. The hell do you use it for down here?
That.
Yeah, but in Michigan, every house has a fireplace because you need it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Do they just use it for decoration and putting like mantelpiece ornaments on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like, I swear half the fireplaces I've seen down here don't even have a flue.
Mm-hmm. Decorative fireplaces.
That's just weird.
Get one of those streams of just a fire loop and put your computer in there and pretend.
I've been stocking ours with candles lately.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, it looks super pretty.
More candles.
Yeah.
Let's all go back to Victorian era. There is something nice about that, though.
Yeah, so we get all sorts of weird weather here in the States.
Oh, that makes more sense. I just
Especially
added
recently.
some green to a color hole rather than black, and it's like, oh, now it looks like she came from some bushes and not the dark void.
Oh, cool. Good.
It wasn't one of your notes.
Here, I actually took a picture of it and put it up on the peg bar.
Ooh.
You're welcome, Rewalk. Go away now.
What? Why are you being mean to Elle?
No, she said I must away. And then thanks for the stream and really nice words. So she
Thanks a million.
Yeah, so she ended it with like in caps really nice words, hence why I was like, yep, go away now. I'm done with you.
Good luck with your work, Elle.
Just
Lift the heavy things over and over again.
Just to clarify for everyone else that may not have been listening before, Elle is a friend. She understands the humor, and she will appreciate it, or she'll kill me. Either way, I only treat friends badly.
I've seen this fireplace though. This is awesome. I'm
Thank you.
Looking out over the lanterns and the bottles, and the candles, and the rapiers.
Yeah, those are actual practical ones. I use those when I fence.
Oh, amazing! You do fencing.
Mm-hmm. I do. I've moved over to like the HEMA style fencing.
I've never heard of that.
It's basically HEMA stands for Historical European Martial Arts.
Okay.
Though I still treat it like a sport, rather than like an actual martial art. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think it does. I only did it for a short time, but I really enjoyed it because it's so much just about playing that game of what are they going to do, and what do they think I'm going to do, rather than actually.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's great.
Wonder if I can. Here, I'll send this to you directly. Let me know if that works out for you.
Yeah. Oh, it totally did. Oh, wow. Oh. So jealous of your house. It's so cool.
It's actually an apartment. I rent it with 2 other people.
Oh, you have armor.
I do.
Oh, that's amazing. I take it the 2 people that you live with are also like super cool and into just armor, weapons, historical.
Yeah, they're both like my one of my roommates, Zach McCowley. He's like a professional, not professional, but like he's practically a full-time dungeon master for Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, nice.
Like at any given time, he's running like 5 campaigns.
Oh, whoa! How do you keep that in your head?
You'd have to ask him because I sure as hell can't do it.
I'm impressed.
It's so nice. It's so nice. Oh, you even have one of those amazing little windows that overlooks the living room.
Mm-hmm.
I love those. I don't know what you call them, but anything like an open plan living room to kitchen, or anything with like a little window like that.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Yeah. Looks like you got some tasty chips on the table too.
Yeah, well, that was the apartment warming day, so we were having friends over.
Wow. You have a bear at the window.
I have a what?
Is that a bear?
Oh, it's a fake bear skin.
Cover your eyes, Mike.
Where am I? Oh.
No bears were harmed.
I'm sure they put up a good fight.
Oh my goodness, that is the best bedspread.
Oh, is it the Gryffindor one?
Yes. And do you have an alligator on your headboard?
Alligator? What?
I thought I saw. Hold on, let me go back.
The headboard is probably my coyote.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
The lighting on it looked like
that's
tiny
Max.
legs.
Max is from Canada. And yeah.
Oh man.
I'll need to be right back. You guys enjoy the tour.
Hello, it's you.
Yeah. Oh god, I forgot. There's a mirror in the bathroom. Oh wow, I was not as swole as I am now. Weird to see myself kind of skinny.
Oh man, this is so cool. I love you have an animation disc on your wall.
Yeah, well, the desk it was originally attached to kind of fell apart, so I kept the disc.
Amazing. Gosh, amazing.
Yeah. So that's our place. I really like to sit on that big red couch and like open up a book and drink some tea and just set the little candles on in the fireplace.
That sounds amazing. You even got like a red plush is the image that I always have in my head. Red plush in the fireplace whenever I think of that kind of stuff.
Basically, like I'm a huge, I just like if I could live in a hobbit hole, I would.
Oh man, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? I'd love
yeah.
that. Oh,
but I like a nice, comfortable house.
Yeah,
you know?
Like I'd love to. Like, one of my dreams that will never happen is to build like an animation studio on a ship.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, you could.
We'd all get super nauseous though.
Yeah. But how cool would it be? I mean, you could sail, and then you could like do the animation when you're in harbour or something.
Okay.
And just go different places.
Or yeah, I mean, you could also like just beach it. You could just have but it be in a ship, just for novelty purposes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like anything like living under a hill. Just, I don't know what it is. It's not even like just one unified aspect to these kind of aesthetics that I like. It's just. Yeah.
I have something dangerous to share with you. It is my personal Pinterest board.
Oh no.
And it is called Hussitbart.
Oh no.
And
Is this gonna make me?
I mean, I think the first few pages at the top are mostly like items, but once you scroll down a little bit, you'll start seeing rooms and stuff.
This is what I want life to be. Please. It's just loading. Oh man, that coffee grinder is awesome.
Oh, is it the one that mounts on the wall?
Yeah. Oh,
I want one of those
thing.
for like spices and stuff.
Yeah. Like, I geek out about anything mechanical like that, where you can see the inner workings.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it all, like, clicking together and how it's functioning. That's so beautiful. There's something just amazing about that. Like, if I ever designed a robot, I would want it all to, like, feel like
an automaton or something?
Yeah, like it could physically work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to design it so it would all actually fit together and things could slot in and out and it would actually make sense. Because mechanics are just, like, so beautiful.
There's a company that I wish these weren't so expensive. They cost as much as a car. Each one's like 30 grand or something. Oh. But what they do is they take old wood fire ovens from like the Victorian era, and they update them to work with modern technology like gas and stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
They're so cool. They cost the earth though.
Yeah. But jeez. Like when I used to live back in Oldham, we had a wood burning stove, and that was always really cool because we would just use it all the time to cook things in.
Keeps the house nice and dry too.
Yeah. I just love the look of the thing as well. This big kind of blackened iron thing with these little legs.
Cast iron.
Yeah. Oh wow! What is that place like on a river or a lake in some mountains?
Here, can you send a link to the image?
Yeah, let's see.
All right, see ya, Fuda.
Just kind of geeking out.
Let's see here. Oh, it's one of the Scandinavian countries.
That's amazing.
But it looks so like that's like my dream town.
Yeah.
Like get to know all the shopkeepers and stuff like that, and.
Oh man. Yeah. You wake up and there's like the mountains on one side of you, and you just something like some big body of water stretching out in front of you. I think that's one of the reasons I like the Ghibli films, is they have that kind of feeling of people knowing each other in a small town. Like Castle in the Sky has a really nice town in Kiki's delivery service.
Yeah.
Everything feels so
homely,
yeah,
comfortable.
Exactly.
I wish that the hard thing for me is that like I love that feeling, but at the same time a lot of the reality of small towns is that it's populated with mostly people who are way older than you, who share none of your interests, and then nothing goes on there except maybe a farmer's market every now and then.
That's true.
And it's like that part kills me, where it's like I need people with drive as well to be around. I don't like being around stagnant people.
No. I mean, maybe one day there'll be like an artist and animated village.
There you go.
A bunch of us will all just move and we'll all help each other build these awesome houses, and we'll be by a lake. And we'll all just do animation all day and then gather around people's fires at night and tell each other stories of adventure.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what we need. Animation retirement camp or something. Where no one ever retires. Because that's the way animation works.
And or no one ever retires. Oh my god.
You just keep going until
I mean, my retirement plan is basically just to be a teacher. Like, so my retirement plan basically involves still working.
Yeah. Yeah, like I admire that about people though, because my dad's the same way, and I think it just shows that if you have a real love and a passion for what you're doing, there isn't really a way to give it up. It's not like you're stopping working.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I finally did my dues.
Yeah.
You know?
I want to live in all these places.
I
So badly.
told you it was dangerous. I apologize.
It really is. Like, oh, it makes me want to settle down in somewhere. Oh, these chateaux in France are just, it's like some medieval scullery kitchen places. Amazing.
That's one of the things I miss a lot about the Midwest, and I'm sure it's more prevalent in Europe too. You know, with a lot more of the history and stuff. Is just the architecture. Here in Austin, most things were made in the 50s to the 80s. So it's all ranch style houses and aluminum siding and stuff like that. There's no brick, there's no Tudor houses, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's some amazing architecture in the world that just like isn't really done anymore. And it's such a shame because it has such a feel to it that is so unique to that particular sort of building style and material. It seems a shame to lose that.
Yeah.
But people like you and me will keep it going forever. Just make
I mean, like,
gold.
hold on. What did I do here? I did something wrong. I split the wrong audio. I just like that's my preferred style of living is just like old school and comfortable, but like, if I have things like internet and stuff like that, then I try to hide it somehow.
Yeah.
So you may have noticed on the mantle there's all these giant books. In one of those books it's actually a box, and that's where the modem is held.
Oh, that's so clever.
Yeah. So like stuff like that.
Nice.
I still want to make... I have plans to make a Harry Potter whereabout clock. It's just more difficult than I thought it would be.
Oh, I love that, though. Like, that would be amazing.
It's supposed to work with your phone's GPS system, so that, like, you set... And there's an app you can get for your phone called If This Then That.
Yes,
and
I love that.
So it transmits to a Raspberry Pi, and then you have some stepper motors that you attach to that, and basically... The rough gist of the code is if user A is within 50 feet of this location, right? These coordinates, longitude and latitude, setting a signal to the stepper motor to go back to whatever like 30% is or something, and then that makes it rotate the hand on the clock, and then of course you make your own little mat for the clock that instead of saying 1 through 12, it'll say like work and in peril and home. And stuff like that. So if you go towards work, it'll go to work.
That's amazing. You're right. It's totally possible to make one now. Oh, that's so cool.
I just got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can check in when you're at work and such, and it's gonna like chug around to the at work thing. Oh, that's amazing. I'm still waiting on my letter from Hogwarts. It's gonna arrive. I know it. It's just not. It's got lost somewhere.
Have you seen that remote control? That's basically a Harry Potter wand.
No.
Like depending on how you like, so like if you like swish it like in a clockwise rotation, it'll turn the volume up.
Oh.
If you like switch left or right, it'll change the channels.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's on ThinkGeek, I think. I hear it doesn't work as well as people were hoping though.
I need that. Like, with a lot of that stuff, though, I wish that they would make it out of actual wood rather than plastic.
What's that?
With a lot of the wands and the paraphernalia, I wish they would make it out of wood or something rather than plastic.
Yeah.
Because it always just like it may look cool from a distance, but when you're holding it, it just doesn't feel like you're holding a wand.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the stuff for that I don't collect wands. I have a few friends who do, but they tend to go to like Ren fairs or something, and there'll be an artiste there who makes them out of wood.
Yeah, that's nice. That's the reason I haven't really bought any myself of the ones. Is just because they're all just made of plastic, and it just doesn't do it for me when it's made of plastic.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
And Aaron is having a hell of a time right now.
torturing him.
Pretty much. Make him explode over and over again.
That's a good thing about doing several animation passes. So you get to make him explode again and again and again.
Yeah, so I've finished up most of the mines. Now we're on to the missile segment.
Good luck,
She's
Aaron.
gonna be... Huh?
Good luck, Aaron.
Yeah, so he's gonna kind of get up and he's all like, all right, Buster Brown. You know, he's like getting geared up, and then he gets a gun and he's all like, oh, you think that rocket will save you? And then it totally saves him.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really glad you're doing that episode. It's such a good episode.
It's funny, like, after I accepted this episode, there was another one that came up that I'm to animate.
Oh, yeah, you said. Which one was it?
It was the Dan Harmon, Dr. Seuss one.
Yeah, the Dr. Seuss rhyme.
God, it was so good.
I was cracking up all the way through that. Such good improv right off the top of his head.
Well, I mean, he's a pretty talented writer, so...
Yeah. You can tell. Just in the way he speaks.
Did you, have you seen the movie Logan at all?
Yeah, we have.
I just watched it the other night for the first time.
Oh,
that movie's intense.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. It did a lot of things that a lot of comic book movies just don't take the chance on.
Mm-hmm.
I give it a lot of props for that. I was invested in the characters. They didn't fall down a lot of kind of typical tropes that a lot of people do. Like, it was, and also like the action scenes were fantastic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love the way they wrote the characters as well. The way they bounced off one another. Like, it gave you such sympathy for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah. A good way to kind of wrap things up, if you know what I mean, on that story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I have yet to see Wonder Woman. Everyone's been saying that's really good.
I've seen Wonder Woman, yeah. I liked Wonder Woman a lot. It has a couple of moments in it which I thought were kind of silly.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet?
No.
No, not yet.
Alright. Then I shan't say too much.
It's on that watch list.
I do. One of the things I liked about Wonder Woman is that they made Wonder Woman feel like an actual hero. She cares about. She's less invested in her own business. She's less invested in like just punching the bad guy, and she's more about actually saving people.
Yeah.
And like I thought was really important, and I liked that.
That's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, so yeah. I was a fan of Wonder Woman.
That's cool. Yeah, I think someone who went to see it, I think it might have been Aline, she said that it tells a lot of the story visually rather than through the writing, you know, through the dialogue, which is nice.
Yeah. So I just returned like reviewing the chat, and there's someone that's saying, Ed PR, are you Marvel? You guys Marvel writer, right? What happened to Spider-Man?
Wait, what?
I think someone is thinking that one of us works for Marvel? I'm sorry to disappoint you, Ed, but...
No.
No.
Neither of us work for Marvel.
I work for Marvel.
Ed does. And then they ask, oh, are you guys boyfriend, girlfriend? I don't know, Indian Patrick, are you guys girlfriend, boyfriend?
Oh yeah, totally.
Because I wasn't. Right?
We all work for Marvel, and me and my.
We're all boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
I am boyfriend, girlfriend all time.
Mhm. Animation is everyone.
Every.
Yeah, I'm sorry, none of us are Marvel people. Although Mike is marvelous.
Oh, stop.
And we are together.
Okay. Calling this one done. Close. The first row of there's probably like 6 rows. 7 rows. How many rows are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. How are there only 5? No, 6 rows.
How are you doing over there, Mike?
I'm good.
Just doing some more coloration.
Yeah. I'm doing all the fixes and tidying.
That's the funnest part.
Yeah.
I will say at least like this. This is your guys' personal project, and it seems like the fixes are relatively small tweaks because there's a consistent vision throughout. But like I will take that any day over a client who is indecisive.
Yeah.
And doesn't understand the medium.
Yeah.
India doesn't appreciate my different coloured necks, though, it has to be said.
Yeah, there's only a few things I really put my foot down on, though, because I want Mike to feel like he can kind of bring his ideas and his approach to it, because I mean,
a little bit of creative freedom.
Yeah, because that's why he's here, like he's on board, because he's a really good colorist. So if I was just to tell him how to do it, it would kind of be wasting him. But there are a couple of things that I know that I want or don't want. So the majority of the notes are just like, I like where you're going direction wise, but here are just like fixes like, oh, this leg isn't the same color as this leg, so can you fix this? Just little things that are just things you accidentally overlooked.
I like the little white register dot. You keep going, you? Like question mark? Yeah, I love putting white dots in the corners.
Well, back then I didn't know if it was you. So.
It's fine. Okay, so there's a thing here that says, why booties green?
Why is booty green?
You mean these?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Because they're consistently brown and black through the rest of the comic.
Well,
so why booty's green?
I don't know what you mean by green, but I think I figured she was wearing socks at this point, but I now realize she's not wearing socks. She's wearing shoes.
Yes.
But you'll forgive me.
Always.
They're not green.
Okay. That's another thing I discover is that I'll say, why is this blue? And Mike will say, this isn't blue. And the way we see colours must be different somehow, because there are certain colours that I will just think are one thing, which just aren't to Mike.
Well, they are a blue upper mid-tone grey. So
okay.
I can see how closely the word grey is to green. No, in the context, I can see how they would appear green.
I guess it's kind of like calling a quantum physicist a scientist or something. Me calling a colour blue.
Did you just reference 1 Minute Time Machine?
I did. And you're like, no, it's this teal with 90% grey. Okay.
I think the reason I question it is because
it might be the juxtaposition of it with the purplish blue background.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just because it's right at the top of the page. Why booty's green?
If it's any consolation, I think I see the colours as you want me to see them, because I see them in context, whereas you see the colours and can name them like as if they're isolated.
I guess, but they were just meant to be like white grey socks to me. So yeah, this is a bit of subtle texture on the walls.
Oh, this is why I don't do the colours.
Remember indication of the hallway. Match camera with earlier page. Okay. Do you guys feel as though you've learned a lot from this project?
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I refuse.
I've unlearned things.
I've deliberately forgotten. Yeah, but a lot of it is kind of time managey things. I've learned how to flat faster.
You learn how to what faster?
Flat a page faster, like
flat. Oh,
yeah. I can fat faster than anyone.
We have both learned how to fat faster, that's for sure.
The color reminds you of Rugrats. Okay. I'll take that as a compliment.
Classic.
Bam, 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 bam.
good old Rugrats.
Did you watch Rugrats, Patrick?
Yeah, I watched a little bit. I watched like a couple episodes. And
did you ever watch
the
movie?
The movie? No, I stayed away from that.
Good. It's not good.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I see London, I see France, I see whoever's underpants it was. I can't remember whose
What?
underpants it was.
I can't remember that part.
Mm.
Isn't the movie where they introduced Dill Pickles? You know, the
Baby.
the brother.
Yeah, maybe.
I loved how they always started every episode with a really kind of disconcerting shot of something, and then it would slowly.
Oh, that's
out.
right.
Yeah.
And it would be like, oh, this is the inside of the grandpa's mouth. It's like, I didn't need to know that in or out of context.
Yeah, like, why would you start on that? It has nothing to do with anything.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, it got a really interesting style, that show.
What would you say you've learned from working on Glim?
I had some more practice drawing, which was good. I think I learned a lot about what my weaknesses are, because I feel like I'd kind of been avoiding my weaknesses up until I had to kind of start drawing backgrounds and I had to start trying to use perspective, at which point I couldn't really ignore that I didn't know how to do them anymore. So it's been good to kind of try and get better at the parts that I'm weaker at. Because I'm comfortable drawing characters and expressions, but less so environments.
Environments are a completely different skill set.
Yeah, it feels that way, because it's really hard for me to think that way in 3D environmentally. It was nice to learn stuff about storytelling too, just in terms of the comic format and how you can use panels and everything. Elle really helped me with that, because she's a really good comic artist. So she gave me a lot of help and advice on thumbnails. How about you, Mike?
I learned how to do glowy effects better. No.
I mean, there's something to be said for doing this large amount of pages and trying to, you know, carry on different themes for different sections.
Yeah, I was trying to think of how to do color associations consciously. So when I was picking colors for particular moments in the comic, I was doing it with that in mind, rather than being like, oh, what would look cool? I also attempted to not use any K within the colors that are outside of any line art, so that it's going to print, I hope, vibrantly and not be too dark when you get it back, because our last comic was slightly darker than I wanted it to be. Which made it a challenge when I was making pages that were inherently dark or were meant to be set in a dark environment. So I tended to use lots of desaturated, washed out colors. There's a page. I've shown it on the stream before, but whatever. It's down here somewhere. So this one here, it's still quite light, but I'm trying to get the sense that it goes from like light to dark by pulling the saturation out of things. And it's actually quite tricky to work in a more grayscale or more monotone thing in CMYK, because I'm just using these 3 sliders for color. I tend to find that the closer
really just the 3, eh?
Yeah.
The 4th is verboten.
The 4th is verboten. Yeah. I tend to find the closer together the sliders are, the more desaturated the color is, because each color is subtractive. So the more you mix them together, the more they dilute each other and pull the vibrancy out of the color. I wish I could have like soft selection on the sliders, so I can be like, I want to pull this one, and these kind of follow it along more. Yeah.
It's probably good to learn this way, though.
Yeah, I've never colored a comic working with the CMYK sliders before, so I'd forgotten that. This is the first time doing that.
Whole new approach. Patrick, I'm curious, have you learned anything while doing the Game Grumps animated?
What's that? What?
Do you feel like you've learned anything doing the Game Grumps animated?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I hadn't done a lot of like things kind of beginning to end like I did the first Game Grumps, the Baloney Man. So it kind of taught me about just when I'm handling my own production, about organization, about planning from beginning to end, things like that. And then the second one was more about like getting a lot of mileage out of a little animation. So kind of like learning like really how to be economic with my frame use, but still get something that looks good.
Yeah.
Those are kind of like the 2 main things I learned.
Do you have any tips for that, being economic with your frame use and still sort of keeping it looking really nice?
Yeah, there's a few things you can do. The first one is just knowing how to get quote-unquote smooth animation with very few frames. A lot of times people put in-betweens where they don't need them.
Yes, I've noticed this.
Yeah.
Some of the animators I really admire can get amazing results with just 10 or 20 frames, and it blows my mind.
A lot of that has to do just with not being afraid to take frames out. A lot of times people are worried that if they don't have these certain drawings in there, that the motion won't read. But really, most of the motion that you're reading is at the end or the beginning of just an action. If you're taking a baseball swing, the beginning and the end of that swing is the most important part, and the middle part can be really fast. It can be like a drawing or two, and it won't make that much of a difference.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one. There's a lot of little tricks you can do, types of overshoots and stuff. Dividing your animation up, so knowing when, like, oh, we're having a talking head here, so I'll have a character move into maybe 1 or 2 poses, but the rest of it is almost just still with just the mouth flapping.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, stuff like that.
It's very cool. I've got a project starting in November that I think, I've told you about, that I'm really excited about learning, or trying to learn to be more economic with my frames. So I'm going to try and put a lot of that advice into practice. Because I am definitely guilty of over-animating and sticking in too many in-betweens.
You said you're guilty of putting too many in-betweens in?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's one of the main things. I can even see it in myself. It's hard to break the habit. But I'm hoping this next project I'm going to really be able to smack that in the face and stop doing it.
I'm trying to think of what to do.
Sorry, it's a completely unrelated thing, but there's a note here that says the face and the arm should be the same color, but there's no mention of the fact that her arm is blue here.
Huh?
Her arm is blue.
Oh, was it blue?
Yeah.
I missed that.
I know, that's what I'm laughing about.
Sorry.
It's fine. Just,
Oh, sure enough, there it is. A little blue arm.
Yeah. It's meant to be blue, okay?
The wristwatch is too tight and it's cutting off circulation.
That's it.
Wouldn't it cut circulation off toward the hand and not toward the rest
I'm
of
doing
it?
that Looney Tunes joke where they cut the cliff off and the other half of the cliff falls.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Except with circulation and arm.
Just the colorist joke.
Thanks for catching that, though.
That's my job. And catching it. I created that.
Yeah. But I didn't notice it, so thanks for seeing that.
Maybe I don't need to cut there. Trying to think of how to proceed into this next segment. It's almost done though. I mean, I'm on frame 1979.
Nice, Katie.
So we're almost there.
How long is it in frames?
The total frame count comes to probably about 3,000. Yeah, about 375.
Oh, so like 2/3 of the way there, basically.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of it is taken up with the end, what do they call it? Bookend.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of where they have that beatbox sound and it's just the credits hanging there.
Oh, right, awesome. So that's included in your frame count.
Yeah, and that's a long time. So I'm actually almost there. I just need to figure out how to proceed into this.
Yeah, isn't that like 20 seconds, the ending bit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a long time.
So right now I have Aaron kind of getting up and he's pulling a golden gun out of his shirt pocket or whatever, and he's like, all right, Buster Brown, you know. So he's getting all serious. And then he says, "You think that rocket will save you?" And then a rocket whizzes by, and you hear him say, "Oh no, it will!" And then there's an explosion. So yeah.
Hey, Alicia. Or hello, salam, ciao, hi. It's a weird Periscope thing. I'm gonna stop mentioning it because it weirds me out.
So are your explosions all going to be like stylistically super kind of hardcore realistic?
I mean, probably. I shouldn't, but they probably will be. Let's see. I wonder if I have any of my explosions in I probably have it in my personal reference folder.
There's one that always sticks in my head, and it's like, it's not even, it's still well animated, but it's like a really goofy one. If you've ever seen the Sonic CD opening, and the ending, there's a bit where Sonic throws a rock at Dr. Robotnik.
Sonic CD opening.
Yeah. Sonic throws a rock at Dr. Eggman's hovercraft, and it explodes into like a sad Robotnik face, and it just always makes me laugh.
Oh dear.
I will link it.
Oh my god. This is like CD. What's Sega CD? Okay.
Sega CD.
Is it blowing your mind?
Trying to find where he throws a rock at it. That's a
see
big
it.
rock.
Yeah.
Where's the explosion? Is it at the very end or something?
I think it's the ending.
It's the opening? Or is it the ending?
It's probably on the ending. Wait, is it?
Ending. Sonic. Okay, North American version. Doodle-doo. Is that the explosion? No, that's a Sonic face. But I see Robotnik moving around. Oh, there it is. Jesus. Well, he's dead.
Yeah. I love that sad moustache droop.
Interesting. I could possibly do something. I'm starting to see where Tyson Hesse got all of his inspiration.
Yeah, isn't it gorgeous? Oh, I love these. The opening and the ending to this is just...
There's some really good explosions in here.
Oh, you've never seen the Sonic CD?
I was never much of a Sonic fan.
Oh!
Why are you aghast at this?
I just love Sonic.
I mean, like, I think I'm more on an Aaron's side of things, where I think, yeah, the character's got some nice design, but as a series of games, none of them really spoke to me.
Yeah. I think these animations on this particular game, the opening and the ending, are my favourite animated version of Sonic.
They're super cute.
Yeah, so appealing. And I love the way he moves. He does that kind of star position before he goes into his Sonic spin. Which is really nice.
Here, I want you to, Indy, I want you to listen to this audio and tell me what you think the next shots, like what visual images run through your head.
Okay, sure thing.
Let me find it. Here you go. Just gonna send it directly to you.
Aha.
So it's the part right after Aaron gets up and like cocks his gun.
Okay.
You can watch it in its entirety. That's fine. So much is happening.
It is. God, there's so much there. Oh, I'm gonna give it another listen.
Wow.
Oh, cool. There's a way to rewind. That's helpful.
Both my previous ones only had 18 scenes. I'm at 24 right now.
Whew. It's a long one.
Lots of explosions. I might be able to make some use. If I do like 3 explosions, there's ways you can pair them up to make them get more use out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm trying to figure out the shortcuts on this Flash player. There isn't any fast forward. Wait, just step
yeah,
forward.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm just not familiar with Flash, so I'm like trying to...
Hey, Mr. U. Not too bad. Just trying to finish up the final pass through the comic. Okay, some texture on the ball.
Tinkin, tinkin, tinkin.
Yeah, I'm just watching it again. Stream is just silent.
Hmm?
Stream is just it goes to silence when you guys are like letting each other watch stuff.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
It feels like when it's like you think that the rocket will save you. There's like a bit of music there that's very like wah, and it makes me feel like they're almost like both stacked with like Aaron on one end of the stalls and the other dude on the other end of the stalls, and they're kind of almost like waiting for each other to come out, so Aaron can see that he has the rocket launcher, and is waiting to whip out with his gun out and shoot the dude. I wonder if I can do a very fast sketch to show you what I'm seeing in my head, because I'm no good at explaining things verbally.
A bacon baguette, dude, that shit is the jam.
Yeah, so Kevin just said, "Hey Doug, if you were a breakfast, what breakfast would you be?" And I was going to field the chat, but I realized that if I typed the answer, and then you're probably reading that in your own Picardo going, What? But yeah, so...
Bacon baguette.
Yeah, so you got...
Like a slice of bacon that's as big as a baguette?
No, so a bacon baguette would just be like if you got a baguette and had it as a sandwich, the filling would be bacon.
My heart, man. Oof.
Yeah, but that's what I would be. I've eaten those, but yeah.
Let's see if I can send you this very bad sketch. Incoming.
I mean, Kevin, if you're around and stuff, I don't know, Patrick, if you would.
Sorry, I enjoy that. That picture.
That's
him, like,
super cute.
He's just like,
I'm gonna rocket will save you. And then
I think the stalls might be completely destroyed at this point.
Yeah. That'd be quite good too. You'd have like it just like half rubble that he's stacked behind with like one of the faucets just spurting water.
Folks, he'll be back.
Back and better than ever.
That's the second time that I've done that recently. I don't know if it's just like...
OBS likes to do that.
I don't know if it's maybe I'm capping out like memory and doing stuff, but... Yeah! Also, I don't know if... Patrick, you've talked to Kevin before. Kevin, if you're wanting attention... Well...
What's that?
Frame it well, Michael. Frame it well.
Well, I'm hearing a lot of folksies.
You're hearing what?
Hold on. I have your audio on.
Ah.
Oh, okay. You're hearing a lot of.
Yeah, I'm hearing the laggy, whatever you want to call it. Sound like there's another person in the room.
Gotcha. What I was going to say is, potentially, if Kevin wanted to join the audio, he could, like...
Sure, I don't have a problem with that. The more the merrier, that's what I say.
Kevin! Kevin!
Kevin, yes, come in.
Kevin!
Come in. Yes, of course.
Kevin!
That's my old, like, British guy who blusters a lot voice.
I like it a lot.
It's convincing.
Yes, of course. Come in here. There you go.
Oh man, I wish I had jowls.
I need...
I would shake them constantly.
I am glad.
Would you still love me if I had jowls? I refuse to answer this line of questioning.
I would still love you, but it would be a little less.
I plead the fifth.
So shallow. My poor jowls.
My poor jowls. Where was I? Where was my brain at before that?
You were putting on bombs.
I was putting a top hat on bombs. Oh, I was saying, in regards to that British voice, I wish I knew, like, more British isms to incorporate, because I don't know a lot. I just know I can do a bluster.
India, say something that's English.
Oh, gosh. Okay, well, it's hard to do it on demand.
Well, I know spot on. I know that one.
Spot on. Tip top.
Tip top?
Yeah. Spit spot means very clean.
Spit spot. Oh
yeah.
My god. I know. You guys know the Yogs cast?
Yeah, I know of them, but I don't listen a lot.
Oh, Simon's pretty funny with like their British isms. I think they were talking about once. What did they say? They say yogurt. Is that why it's called Yogs cast?
Oh, no idea.
It might be. We do say yogurt.
Yeah, so there was this, I think they might have had a guest on or something, but they were talking about the difference between when Americans say yogurt, British people say yogurt. And Simon chimes in, and he just says, well, of course the way we say it is right, because we invented the fucking language.
Yeah.
But there you go. Elitism. Yeah, then we have a lot of fun ones. Like...
Most Americanisms are just, like, militaristic.
That's true.
You know, lock and load and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's no correlation.